I am here on twitch.tv/NeoStarling, here with a very special guest today. I have Widditsama from the very popular YouTube and Twitch channels Widditsama. You can catch him on the internet. He is a phenomenal Super Mario speedrunner. And I also have Kevin Jimenez. He's going to be talking to us about all these amazing things that he is doing. So if you guys want to introduce yourselves, go for it.
Let's man the hour talk really quick.
Hey, my name is Kevin Jimenez. I am the founder and the lead art director of the 27 Club. It's a principal founding of artists collected through New York City that I've gathered, and we are trying to produce our work to the best quality that we can through our basic networks.
And as he said, I wouldn't put myself as too popular, but yeah, I mean, you already know Widditsama. Tell your mom to watch out because I'm after her. Tell your girl to watch out because I'm after her. Tell your dog, tell your cat, keep them close. I'm after them. I'm fucking them all.
I mean, guys, just also, be organic as you want, Kevin. You don't have to sound like such a robot when you're talking. You're among friends. We love you here, bro. It's all good.
Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
There was a fire, man. There's that fire I heard like a couple of weeks ago.
What fire?
You know what fire?
I don't have a clue. What fire are you talking about? I'm blank right now.
So, for those that don't know Kevin, or if you do know Kevin, this dude speaks with such a fire sometimes. Like when he's activated, and when he's got something to say, he's gonna let you know. Like his words just run so quick out of his mouth, and it's hard to keep up sometimes. And I'm trying to you hear the passion in his voice, and he's not letting it out. Like, what's going on, man?
I'm sorry.
I hope that hurts nobody's ears.
No, it's okay. I don't think it's going to really hurt anyone. It only went into a slight red. But yeah, guys, I'm really actually glad to have you on board today. I think it's awesome because I haven't seen you in so long, Kevin. And it's always good to hang out with you, Robert, or with it, however you'd like to be called.
Widditsama, the player.
The player.
The
player of the video game, not the girls, though. Don't worry about that. That's all you need to know. I'm fucking around now, just joking.
I'm a god.
He's a god.
Nah, I have a girl. I'm tied down.
Yeah,
I'm still fucking your mom.
He's probably married, but you're cheating. Whose mom though? Not my mom, nigga. Fuck out of here.
He is whipped, man. He's whipped.
I know he whipped, bro. This guy, you see this guy, bro? He like fucking ancient Egypt time right now, pushing fucking blocks and whip.
Sorry for being on my phone. I'm trying to host you.
Either way, okay.
No, it's okay. Feel free to host. Also, Kevin, if you want, can you actually check your Facebook because I went on Facebook Live, but oh snap, my boy Widder with the host.
Hey, Dragon Ball.
Thank you so much, Widder, for the host.
Cool.
He is whipped. Oh, Amir just said that you're whipped, Widded.
Yeah, you're whipped as fuck, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm your friend, bro, and bro, I can't get tied down right now because I'm chasing what I'm chasing for, bro, and it's happening so quickly. All the connections I'm making, and it's just I know people that want things in life such as wealth, power, and they dream of it, and they say I want to get that, and
oh snap, Mir, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate that. You followed me right on Robert's face. I forgot to adjust where those follows are, but it's okay. It'll pop up wherever it pops up. So.
But yes, for me it was basically I had to understand that I wanted to be into the red. Now, honestly, bro, the best movie to watch in life that would change your perspective in life and possibilities of achievement, that movie would be Scarface. As a kid, I saw Scarface when I was I think 7 or 6 years old. I don't know. I was young, basically, all right? And all I knew was I saw some pissed off Dominican-looking kind of guy. I'm Dominican, by the way, everybody. So Dominicano, yo.
No, he's not.
No.
Don't believe the hype.
No, soy Dominicano, coño, cállate la boca, muchacho diablo. No, soy Dominicano.
Real quick, Kevin, before you continue, thank you, Mir. I appreciate that. And Vegapedia also said, oh, shit, the sex curtain is up.
Oh. Well, we're just out here focusing,
Sex curtain is up.
But
that's hilarious.
Either way, so, I saw Scarface, and Scarface inspired me to pursue things and that kind of curiosity. He went after everything so passionately, and he was in a mind state. It wasn't about him getting the cocaine and the money and the power. That wasn't the point about the movie, if you really watch it, Oliver Stone, he's an awesome director. He went through Vietnam and experienced the tragedy of war and suffering. So for him to direct, that movie, he's one of my favorite directors of all time, by the way. I love Oliver Stone, JFK, probably his best work ever created. But I followed his work and I saw Scarface, and he actually sat down with drug dealers, bro, and these drug lords. He didn't just write the shit out of his ass, bro. You know what I mean? And he's been involved with like missions in Vietnam that were high class. He's a director.
What's interesting about Scarface is that when you think of him for a couple of iconic movie scenes.
Yeah.
Versus what he actually did.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're able to bring up all that stuff, that's actually kind of pretty awesome.
But that's what I saw as a kid, bro. Even as a kid, I didn't see just a fucking action movie. I was like, whoa, I see the moral of the story and what's going on. It's a Greek tragedy, the principle of Scarface, which is modeled after the first Scarface from 1932. I had the film. I've seen it. Amazing.
I hate to interrupt you.
What?
Great story you're telling. You're not on Facebook Live.
I'm not on Facebook Live.
I tried multiple times to like reload and like just
right.
now. That's why I was on my phone. I wasn't.
You guys talk.
Uninterested.
You guys talk. I'll worry about this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah, one more thing, bro. Like the little sound effects when this shit pops up. Can you lower that shit or mute that? God damn, nigga.
You got some nerve, bro. You coming on my podcast and you telling me how to run this show?
Fucking put that shit down, bro. You throwing me off. I be talking to you. Welcome. What the fuck? Who the fuck is that guy, bro? Who is this guy, bro? Like, this is my podcast, bro. You're not welcome right now. I'm talking, bro. No offense, bro. You're a cool dude. That's awesome. Welcome. Where's that from? Oh no, Resident Evil 4.
You see, you're a geek, man, so you can't be telling me this stuff.
I fucking on that game, bro. As a kid, bro, I was with my cousin, bro. I spent literally like 28 days playing fucking Resident Evil 4. I beat professional mode at age 12 or 11, bro, like 3 times in that one summer, bro. And I had better records each time. And I used the wackest guns. I never even upgraded them. No merchant even. And I beat the whole game, bro. You believe that shit? At 11 years old, bro. I was a fiend for that game, bro. That merchant, he held you down when you needed him, bro. He's like the weed dealer, but he gives you guns instead.
Yeah, word. I mean, I'm really trying to connect on Facebook Live, but for some reason it keeps freezing every time I try to do it. It's a little strange, but I'm gonna keep trying. So you guys just feel free and have a conversation about whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up where I left off about Scarface. All right, so.
Oh, yo, it just said you went live.
I'm live. Go. Okay, all right.
All right, so Scarface, right? The film.
Yeah, you're live. Let's fucking go. That's what I wanted to do, so I can share your.
Oh yeah, please, for sure.
All right.
Help a brother out because in this world, that's how we have to do it.
Can you put me on live in some kind of way too, like on my Facebook as well, like connected or share?
Dude, you're fucking Maxwell, whatever.
Van Peoples, exactly. Yes. It's
you know what? You might not. I don't think it's
on my Facebook, right?
Allowing me to come up.
When I graduated, listen to this, bro. People nowadays gotta understand that social media is a trap. It's like having a fucking wife that nags everything you do when you have an affair.
It is like having a wife and it nags everything you do, but also be mindful that it's also the way you're gonna reach the top. Because if you're not, it's like Gary Vee always says. He's like, this phone right here, this is the future. If you guys don't do this, if you're not on this, you fail. You know, so basically it's one of those things where it's become part of our culture. So what social media does, it exposes us, you know, for who we are and what we do.
I'm getting to that right now. Listen to this. So when I graduated out of college, right, and I started doing my first like real big like internship, like something connected with a studio for the first time, I sat there and there was this fucking old ass lady, this white bitch, bro, fucking asshole. I sat down. I said, yo, listen, I'm a hotshot artist. I know what I'm doing. I'm the fucking man, and like I'm the shit. You gotta take me. I'm overqualified, and I know it. This is a waste of my time, as I see it. And she's like, whoa, you're too confident. That's your problem. You know, that's great that you're this confidence. I see the way you're dressed and the way you approach it. You're a real confidence artist. You know, the thing you gotta watch out, kid, is basically you're off track. You're just trying to pick up any job. How about you get a job that focuses on something that you really want to do and give everything you got? And I'm like, whoa, I never done that. You know, like I know I could do it, but it's a lot of work.
I have chat just in case they ask a question or something.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, feel free.
Mir just said laughing my ass off. I guess that I don't know if it was a sex curtain comment or that you're whipped. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, this nigga's whipped, bro. This guy is so whipped, bro. Rob, you gotta stop, bro. You gotta get a back protector now, bro. Or wear like a, I don't know.
Also, you know, I want to take this opportunity to thank you, Robert, for hooking a brother up.
Oh yes.
Where you know you're a big support to my stream, and I always appreciate it. Oh, my boy Jaden just hopped on board. It was good, Jaden.
Hey.
Yeah, so that's pretty dope. I appreciate you guys being here today. And again, you know, when I'm recording this podcast, I kind of want things to be organic. I like us to flow freely, and I also want to be able to bring up the new talent, which you guys are the talent. You're the future. You know, you're the young guys. You're the up and comers, as they say.
But the thing is, bro, you know what? I should just cut into exactly what was I talking about before.
You were talking about Scarface and the moral of its story.
Oh,
apparently,
yes.
it's based on like a Greek
It's based.
myth
No,
or
no, no, no. I
something?
was getting to that. Scarface, the original film, was released in 1932 by Paul Mooney. That was his name. It was basically a documentation, a biopic about the real life Scarface, which is actually Al Capone. Everybody knows him. He had a scar in his face because what happened was he was in a bar trying to mac on this girl, and it was a high member who was a thug, and he found out. So it was like a fight, and he said, I don't got time to kill you. He said, I'm gonna mark you instead, and he scarred his face with a glass shard of a bottle.
Damn.
And that's how he got the name. And that scar was like, it's 2 scars. He had 2 scars, not even one. Both aligned on his left cheek. And it was everywhere he knew, it was no Scarface. Like, they didn't even know him by his real name. Oh, Al Capone, who the fuck is that? Until, like, he really blew up, then it was Al Capone. But in the streets, he was called Scarface. Like, oh, I know who that is. He's the only guy out here with that shit on his face. You know? And he became a millionaire because he bootlegged. And then Scarface 1982 is basically, the 32 one is the same movie about the real life Scarface. They changed it, because there was a lot of legal issues with that, you know. You understand that 1932 alcohol was still banned at that time. It was banned 1938 around there. Then 34.
Well, yeah, I mean, prohibition was a thing for a while. So what you're telling us is that in order for us to succeed and reach the pinnacle of our existence, we have to.
As Scarface put it simply, he just basically said, when he got to America, he said, this town is like one giant big pussy just waiting to get fucked. And basically, that's what... No, but honestly, that is what New York City is, bro. This is a central port of, like, so many connections, bro. In the corner, I could literally make a left turn and meet some white person down here who's being gentrified and be like, what do you do as a living? And since the rent is so fucking expensive everywhere around here, they're going to be like, oh, I got to make this kind of money doing some crazy-ass job just to live out here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, pay $2,000 out here in Queens, bro, is a lot of money, bro. It's like 3 G's now.
Yeah,
you know?
no doubt. I mean,
these kids that live by themselves, they don't have, like, 3-4 roommates, so they work in big places. Like, they work in production, and that's what I'm involved in. I'm involved in production.
Mir said that it was about the notification. That's why.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay, so you're on your phone.
Yeah, I figure I have the channel.
This is
And
lit.
Jaden said that he did not know that, so thank you, Kevin, for that information.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, you got to know that, bro. Jason, understand that. Because...
Not Jason, Jaden.
Oh, I don't have my glasses, by the way. I'm sorry. These texts are so hard to read from over here. I'm sorry.
I can't blow it up.
Yeah, it's okay. I have bad vision. I should be wearing my glasses, but they broke. I'm getting them next week.
So...
Gosh.
I mean,
and that's Scarface. That's it. Just big town.
That's dope. Yeah, you explained Scarface. So, understanding we gotta do what we gotta do to make shit happen.
Exactly.
Be our own Scarface without the illegal activity.
Illegal activity, exactly. But you gotta have the same fire and passion.
Of course, I think anybody successful should have that same fire, that passion that you speak with. Like just right now, just explaining Scarface's story. It's like.
But I'm sorry. I feel like sometimes I'm like going overboard and I need to pull back.
My man, who cares?
Oh,
Let's talk
about
what you came here
to talk about.
Okay. And what I happen to be involved with. What NeoStarling is also happens to be involved with.
So, all right, I'm gonna start from the very beginning. Just a heads up, everybody. In this podcast, I just had my wisdom teeth both pulled out in the back, and they were not vertical; they were sideways. And what they did was they ripped the back of my skin off my gums, broke my jawbone, and yanked both teeth out, drilled it into pieces, and plucked them out with pliers. And this is yesterday. I'm here out recording this podcast. Luckily, I got some good ibuprofen.
Very quickly, Vegapedia says, always go overboard, son. That's right, man. We got to go overboard, and we got to do things up the way we do it.
Respect that, Vega.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really curious to hear about this 27... club. I know you can be a little long-winded, but I know you're gonna get to it.
Oh, bro!
And I know you can't.
Bullet points. I'm gonna go at bullet points.
Okay.
Fine. So I graduate. I'm in my last year of college. Basically, then I get anxiety. I gotta get over anxiety now. Then my grandmother passes away. Then my mother and dad officially split apart. They don't talk no more, and it became a divided household. All these factors were basically hitting me, and I had to basically finish my last year in college. And then college tells me, you're not getting funded for senior year. No money, unfortunately. And I said, what the hell? So I had to get by that now. And I had to go do my senior project. People in my course were doing the senior project who were better than me, more talented. They had the greatest potential. I mean, they gave me pep talks when I thought I wasn't good enough. And they dropped out because there's one class that cannot finish it. And my task was to complete something that I didn't complete in high school, which was to be the best in my class and really take my work from here to stratosphere this time. I'm not going to fail, And at the point, I was depressed too, with anxiety, and like I was coping with this, and like I was in a dark place, and my friends stopped talking to me. People who told me that I went to school with, who are artists, they doubted me. There was family members of my family that didn't believe I couldn't do this. They said it's impossible. I don't believe in this.
Real quick, Kevin. So, Meet Your Zoloft. She says, ouch, about your wisdom tooth.
Oh, yeah, man.
Vegapedia just repeated what I said when I said long-winded because he thinks that's my favorite quote to him.
Yeah.
I don't think it's my favorite quote, Vegapedia. I just generally like saying that to people who I feel are too long-winded, but it's okay because we all are.
I'm just so overpassionate.
No, hey, dude, Kevin.
Fuck that. No,
I totally get it because realistically, you sound the way I sound. Like,
yeah.
We're actually having the same conversation with each other's minds. Like that.
Because you know what it is.
Happening.
I'm not here to entertain the people. I'm not here to entertain who's watching. Fuck them, bro. I'm here to tell a story. And like at the end of the day, people always laugh about what people do, bro. That's just a factor of human nature. Once you understand that simple principle that's human nature, and you disregard that, you're into a realm where people like, Prince's, David Bowie's, and Kanye West mentality are at. They're in a point where it's just like, it doesn't matter. They already conquered the game. They understand society, and that is not even a factor to them.
They conquered the game. Also be aware that stuff took time. Things like that are... I kind of feel like when you become self-aware, right, and you tell yourself, okay, I'm going to start doing this. This is my thing. I want to achieve success. I want to be great. Whether you want to be great or whether you just want to be able to live comfortably, on your own steam without having any assistance from anybody. Yes. That's something that I think a lot of people strive for, but not most people know how to actually go on and get. So, you're very young. You're 25, right? Yeah. Yeah, you're 25 years old. So I feel like you're in the prime. You're not even in your prime. That's a crazy thing. So when you hit another like 5+ years, I know, bro, it's gonna be insane. I know. So also just make sure to keep self-awareness as a pillar, and don't forget that.
I know. Thank you, man. I respect that. And long story short, I had to make this comic book, and I had to get an A on it, and no one's ever gotten an A in this course, and everyone was doubted. I got an A. I passed. I submitted my work to a competition out of the blue, and I had literally only $50 in my bank account. It was either pay my cell phone bill or pay this opportunity. Pay the opportunity. My comic went international around the globe with top critics from all these Latin countries, and it's a Latin artist competition. What happened was basically my work went out there, and I won awards internationally, bro. I got international exposure. People around the world know my work, and I was put in a museum, and I'm archived forever.
All of you guys out here, you guys listen to an auto fucking biography. My boy Kevin spilling his beans, like he's just out here, like, yo, this is exactly what's happened to me, and I'm out here. I just want to put that in here. Go ahead, Meredith. Be quiet. What did she say? He has a sticker on his back.
I was about to tell you, but I guess she told you. She told her.
I know exactly where this is from.
Got that now.
He's got the small sticker, the small one.
Who did that? Somebody violated me.
Because you a baby, you fucking punk out here ass. Either way, back to the story. I won an award. I went to apply for jobs. I was getting no jobs. I got through that point. Then I applied to a studio, Neo Studio, right here. This is the shirt I wore day one.
How dare he not bring me a shirt that says Neo on it?
I know, right?
NeoStarling.
I'm sorry, bro. It was called Neo Studios.
Yo, I forgive you. I forgive you. I just want you to be aware. I am NeoStarling. So the next time,
I got you.
Good looks.
I want to make it like a red star for you with the name still in it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, don't shit. You wear the scarf?
I actually really like that pattern on that shirt. It just because it's so simple. You know, it doesn't look complicated at all. It's a simple design, but it's efficient. It works. So yeah, man.
But so I got this job to work in a photo studio. I have no photo experience aside one semester in college. I land a job. I told them I'm passionate enough. I get the job. The studio closes 2 weeks later, shuts down. They sell the building, the lease, and I was kicked out, unemployed now. And I worked in a shoe store, again in retail, bullshit. Then I get a call from a friend. He's like, hey, new studio in Williamsburg. Pull up. I go to Williamsburg. I get there, bro. This guy was in a yacht for Tom Cruise. They did a shoot and they finished the night with a yacht, bro, party. And I'm like, unbelievable. You're fucking lying, bro. He's like, I'm serious. And all of a sudden, my life got thrusted into this like weird fucking world, bro, where like I stepped into the studio, the new studio that I'm working at now. I stepped in there, bro, and like energy just hit me, you know?
You're an idiot, Widditsama. I was told to read that out loud.
That's Nakji. Without going away from your conversation, Nakji, shout outs to him. Dope dude. I've met him twice already. I met him up earlier today. He's fucking sick. Very supportive of me. And I'll leave it at that before I go on.
So I got this job in the studio, and I landed the first week. I never believed this, bro. I swear to like anything, bro. Anything you tell me, I would swear this is the fact. We were renovating this shitty ass hole in the wall in the beginning because it was a dump basically in the beginning, you know. So I was helping renovating, and I'm like, why the hell am I spending my time painting these walls and busting my ass? You know what I mean? For free. This is stupid. Do you know why? Because when I got into that fucking studio, they were like, oh, get ready for 2 weeks. I'm like, what's happening in 2 weeks? We're gonna have like a client, and I'm thinking like, you know, maybe some photographer locally, right? He's like, no, you know Russell Westbrook? I'm like, who? Russell Westbrook. I'm like someone named Russell Westbrook, or like the actual athlete Russell Westbrook? Or you just fucking with me, right? Because I love basketball. I know Russell Westbrook. He's gonna be the MVP this year.
So he's a basketball player.
Yes, and he's the MVP of 2017, bro. He broke a record in basketball. Oscar Robinson, the Big O, Mr. Triple Double, the first one. He set a record of having triple double for the 1968 season, I believe. Yes, 68. He had a record for that. He broke that now. No, and there was scientists and critics and analysts who said it is impossible to break that record because at that time basketball was different and no one could do that ever again. Russell Westbrook said, I'm gonna do it. I might not be able to get a chip, but I'm definitely gonna break the records for life. And everyone, I mean, like no matter like if he gets no rings and like he break a leg tomorrow, bro, they're gonna remember him for like breaking that record and being the MVP at that time.
Well, I mean, has the record been broken now? Because I know that records are meant to be broken, and they eventually do. So, is he still currently holding that record?
Yes, bro. He's about to break the most triple doubles ever in history right now, bro. He's not even in his prime, and he's already had one knee surgery, bro. He has 2 knee surgeries in this one knee, and he's still out there playing. Derrick Rose, who was better than Russell Westbrook, I mean, astronomically, bro. He was way better than Russell Westbrook. I mean, he's way less than what he is right now because his knees are destroyed. He's had 4 surgeries, 2 on each knee, bro, like severe. But he's out there still dropping 30 points. He's still an amazing player, don't get me wrong. To this day, he's still my basketball player, #1 forever. You know, and I met Russell Westbrook, long story short, in a photo shoot, and I actually was like literally like how close Rob is. I was there with Russell Westbrook, like, hey, Mr. Westbrook, what do you need? And I was like literally handing him bottles. And bro, like 2 weeks ago, I was literally unemployed doing bullshit. But I put this like thought out there, like if I just try, instead of just, some people think about things, you know? You know what I mean, Rob? Like anything to say about that? Like people just thinking about shit and not being active?
I mean, I think I'm a human.
Exactly. Like what this guy said. René Descartes, one of the most famous philosopher, René Descartes. He's a famous French philosopher. And I took philosophy. I love philosophy. It was my favorite class. 2 years of that. Best 2 years. He basically said, I think, therefore I am, you know?
I look at it like this. Another philosopher, Aristotle, he actually said a life unexplored is a life not worth living.
Exactly.
So when you think about it's interesting because if you could hear a million different philosophers saying a million different things, and when you kind of listen to all of it, there's a central truth to a little bit of everything that they're saying.
Yeah.
So when you pick that information out of it, a lot of them are actually saying the exact same thing, just in a slightly different manner.
Oh yeah.
So if you guys aren't like down with listening to anything a philosopher would say, I suggest just listening to some of it because I feel like you can learn from it, you know? Like that stuff's very important. So I resonated with what you said, definitely.
Thank you, man. Thank you, brother. But you know, like for me it was kind of like I just got up and here I am now, literally 2 feet away from Russell Westbrook. But this is the craziest. This is not even like the most crazy part of the story, because the very first day when I was working in the studio, my boss is like, okay, you know, we're just setting up. We're still young, but I'm going to this after party. All my coworkers said no. I'm like, who the fuck would not want to go to after party in Soho and a private exclusive shit featuring Timberland really launching this new boot collab with like the Billionaires Boy Club, that brand in Soho. And I'm like, I want to be fucking in there. I deserve to be in there. You know what I mean? And he invited me to go. I pull up to this place, bro. It's a crowd, bro. I mean, like fucking 80 people, bro, like on the block, bro, all crowded up in this area. And then there's a line all the way on the right going around the block, bro, literally going around the block, bro, like it's almost lapping this block just to get into this small space in the club. Because in there, bro, they have camera equipment that's like 6 G's, bro, just going around back and forth recording the event, performances, DJs, liquor, weed outside, people smoking, ice cream trucks for free, and burritos for free, just publicly being served in this spot. And I'm like, in New York, there's parties like this? The fuck? Have you ever heard of all that shit, Rob?
Nah, that's news to me. Hey man,
I don't fucking believe that, bro.
That's crazy.
And it
I've
was
never
even,
heard of that either.
and it was even Taco Tuesday because it was a fucking Thursday. So it was tacos, bro, out
Yeah,
there.
but what's not to believe? You know,
No,
it's
but
New York
that's not
City.
that's not the craziest part of the story.
New York City's insane.
Bro, I know, but that's not where it gets crazy for me. It's just like I was literally doing jack shit, bro. You know what? Like literally just like being a bum in your house, just like sitting on your ass, and then 2 days later you're out here doing all this shit. It's a shock. Like, whoa, you know, I never thought I was gonna be out here with these people, you know. And what was so crazy was that I'm standing outside thinking the party's not starting. This is a big crowd. So I'm like, okay, no one's in there. So we haven't even started the party yet. They're just setting up still. So my boss is talking to his friends. And then it's like, this is steps, bro. There's like these 4 steps, bro, leading up to like the side wall glass of the club where they're at. And on the top of the steps, I see 3 gentlemen standing up there, right? And like for some reason, like everyone's around them, bro. They're not like standing at them or next to them. It's like they're like in awe, like watching them.
Were they shrouded in darkness?
No, they were not shrouded in darkness. They were like two Dominican niggas talking Dominican shit, and then the other one was this white guy. His name is Artek. He's an artist in Soho. He's well connected. He knows a lot of cool stuff, and I'm working with him now. But I met him. All 3 of them, they were up there, and I'm like, I have to approach these people for some reason. There's something about them that I need to talk with about them. And I introduced myself to each one of them. It was like the 3 kings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The 3 wise men. And it was just like, I knew that when I saw that instantly because they weren't being approached with like such casuality. It wasn't like a casual, hey, what's up, dude? It was just like, and they're like, oh, what's up, dude? And they would say hi to you. You know what I mean? I said, fuck that. I know I'm going to choose myself because I don't know if I'm ever going to see them again. And I said, excuse me, hey, my name is Kevin Menace. You need to know me because I know your friend over here. You know, and I was like, whoa, who the hell is this punk? And I'm just like, no, you need to know who I am because believe me, I'm a big deal. You might not know me. You know, I'm pretty cool right now. I won an award internationally for my comic book around the globe. My work went out there, as I said, and I won a competition. And that put me on a platform where I was respected with my art alone. And I'm now learning photography on top of that. You know?
So tell us about that. I kind of want to hear it because I know I've seen some of your artwork before, like on Facebook and whatnot, and you have a very unique style. You kind of have like a anime-ish / American style of art.
Have you seen it lately? I don't think. Yeah.
I follow you. Yeah, I follow you on social media, so I definitely seen like some of the stuff that you have. But is that something you've been doing for like a really long time, or did you just pick that up like within the last couple of years?
Well, you know what's so funny about that story? The most hilarious thing. Life is the most ironic thing, you know. As someone who was suffering from depression, and like, thank God I'm over it now, and like my anxiety is like completely disintegrated. Thank God.
You had the feel bads. That's what I call
yeah,
depression.
it was a phase. You know, it's a phase in life, and you go by it. You know, and I got by it now. And now is basically when my art was being done as a kid. White lies and ironically living life through ironic things that you notice is what gives you joy in life, you know? If you live life stern and just let the little small things in life just pass you by, you're not going to live it. Just like Ferris Bueller said, Day Off. That's true, bro. So what happened was as a kid, I was trying to draw, but I drew boats like the Titanic and buildings. I didn't have confidence to draw. I thought it was terrible. Then my friend told me about Dragon Ball Z, but I grew up in poverty for a very long time. I need to share that. I grew up in Harlem in 143rd Street during the crack epidemic. My building was a severely drug bro, everywhere drugs, bro. And as a kid, I was naive. I didn't really know because as a kid, you think everything's like that in life. You know, you think people live like this normality. You know, it doesn't hit you until you leave the environment. You're like, whoa. There's shit going on out here people need to know about and no one cares.
Yeah, know? whether you're going to school or whether you finally like seek a job out there somewhere different, you start to notice a different group of people. Yeah. When you get on another side of the city on the train and those people that are in your neighborhood start to slowly disappear and the others start coming aboard, like the more successful people. Yeah. That's I think really where it opens up for you mainly. And I understand because I come from like a very like impoverished background myself. Yeah. I grew up in the Bronx and you grew up in Harlem. I believe Whitted grew up in the Bronx as well. So I could definitely resonate with that. I think that it's important that we never forget about that, though.
Exactly. And you're right.
Never forget, because if you forget, then you forgetting where you came from can affect you in a negative way. Because once you get all Hollywood, but you don't have like the bare bone necessities of who you used to be, that can kind of turn you into a person you didn't want to be initially. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, keep that feeling strong in you, man.
No, I mean everywhere I go, they ask me where we're from. I heard from Hell's Kitchen. Fuck Hell's Kitchen. That's my second neighborhood. My real hood is fucking Harlem. My dad grew up there. My grandfather lived there. My dad wants to die there. I'm gonna die there too. You know, and I know Harlem, the Renaissance and all that. As a kid, I grew up in Harlem. What's so beautiful about it, you know, is that education there wasn't just geared to like, it founded my principle to be proud of my skin tone and who I am as a person. Like if I didn't have that backbone building at that young principle, I would have been a spineless coward in life, you know, because the educational system, they don't teach you. They box your mentality. They give you a frame and they put you in there and they say, follow that, you know.
That's because school is designed to make workers. It's not designed to make entrepreneurs.
This is why there's a lot of cut fundings in creativity, such as art and drama, because these are different expressionisms. I have a nephew who's terrible at math, like I was terrible at math, and I used to think, oh, I'm bad at math, that means I'm worthless in life. I can't even do math in a store or retail, you know. As a kid, you take that serious because you don't understand how like naive you're thinking, you know.
Everybody's bad at math.
But my counter towards that was art. It was like, you can't tell me shit about art because I'm just fucking around with paper, you know? And it was that got me into it. So I drew Dragon Ball Z for my friend. It was super fucking trash. It was the worst drawing of my life, probably, you know? But I thought it was the hottest shit ever. So I'm like, yo, what do you think? And he looked at it. My friend was really like, you know, he didn't want to be rude, you know? So he said, oh, this is amazing, bro. Keep drawing. You're the best. I'm like, really? And it was the first time someone like told me I'm really good at something in my life, you know, like honestly and genuine. I'm like, wow, I can't believe someone thinks my work is nice. I show people this, and it's just like, you know,
they put a star next to your name.
Yeah, and exactly. You got a gold star. You're like, bitch, I put like 4 hours in this shit. I got crayon in my nail and paint, and you're gonna give me a fucking star? You better drop this shit down to the school gallery and put it on a chalkboard. Because
yeah, but you know what, yo, man, the hubris, man. Don't be hubris either, because even though your work is good. There's always someone that's like a trillion times better than you.
No, I understand, bro. But all I'm saying is that they didn't do that for nobody. Wouldn't it be nice to know that you can get a gold star, but if you try really hard enough, you can get your work displayed downstairs?
Oh, yeah, no, that'd be great.
That's basic, bro. It's such a basic, because that tells you to bring your bar from here to there. You know what I mean? And you might get that. You know?
Well, also be aware that that's based off of your opinion, because at the end of the day, the market is what decides.
That's true.
You know, if your art is really good, then it'll be up there. You don't even have to demand for it to be up. But if you're saying that you want it up, that's your opinion versus what the market's actually looking for. Even if the market is something as small as like fifth graders, you know, it's like if they all think it looks cool. Hey, Miss Frizzle, you know, can you like hang this up for all of us to see in the gallery? Yeah. And Miss Frizzle's like, sure, no problem. If you guys all want it, I'll do it. But if you're the only kid that goes up there and you're like, hey, why isn't my stuff up there? She's gonna be like, well, it's not that good. But you know it's good. Yeah. But the point is just that you knowing that it's good, just keep it going. Keep it going and don't stop. Never stop.
That's the motto, man, in life. You know what I mean? Like
for any kids that stumble upon this video, yeah, I hope you listen to this part.
So this is where it gets real crazy now. So now me chasing and striving, I land a position in this photo studio, and now I'm founding this club called the 27 Club. Basically, long story short, is I've gathered 7 artists that I've known throughout my life that are still pursuing their craft at this age, and they're getting attention. I mean, like, they're on the verge of breakout. They're young, you know, and I'm young too. I'm 25, but I want to be an entrepreneur. So I did a photo shoot, gathered them together, and now I'm leading productions for my comic book that I wrote. And Rob is part of the team too. You're part of there. Rob, explain your side of the story.
Before you explain, Robert, Vengeful Nature said KFC for later. LOL.
Facts.
KFC for later. I mean, I'm not gonna put money towards it, but I mean, if you're willing to contribute it to you know, the charity that is this house, then I mean,
there, you got your answer, Vengeful. All right, go on.
So, I don't even have a fucking story. I'll be quite honest.
Okay, tell them how I basically explain how I approached you about it and how you found out.
So how Kevin literally plucked me from the depths of. Oh, oops, excuse me.
You're in the reds. Sorry.
I'm an extra red. I've probably burned some ears out. So how... Alright. First of all, fuck this guy. Alright. So how Kevin literally plucked me from the depths of obscurity and brought me into, you know, the heavenly light. Yeah. Shout out to NeoStarling. It's a NeoStarling quote. Well, Kevin figured... Okay, let me be transparent. I'm not entirely sure
Okay.
what Kevin
Let me
sees in me.
explain. Let me take
All right,
over.
let
Let me just explain the whole
What's
story.
up, Joel? What's up, Markella on Facebook Live?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thank you for arriving here. But let me.
I
explain-
forgot. I'm sorry. Before you say anything, I forgot to shout out Facebook Live.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm also
yes.
doing this on Facebook Live, so as people pop in, I'm just gonna give them quick shout outs. But I don't want that to interrupt from what you're saying. So please feel free to proceed the way you're gonna proceed.
Thank you. So in the span of 6 months, I've done photo shoots for G-Shock, Nike, Mountain Dew. I met Russell Westbrook. My friends worked with the Oscar winner of Toys a Slave. I forgot her name. I've met America's Next Top Model competition the last year's competition winner. I worked with her. I worked with magazine companies. I've worked with high-end clients. I've worked with Joey Badass twice already. I personally have his number on my phone. I'm out here meeting all these people, and now I'm leading my first production, and I'm going to use these artists and the connections I've gathered and the things I've learned to basically excel and surpass and like put us on a larger platform, you know? And by the looks of it, is going to happen. Like, bro, like I can't believe this. And the thing is, it might take 3-4 years, bro, but when it happens, bro,
Dude,
shit.
it might take 10. You never know.
It might take 10, but the thing is,
But it will happen.
It will happen. The thing is, it's not about even like 10 years, like being a millionaire. I'm talking about like living comfortably and make like salary, get my own place and roommates, whatever. I can make that next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, I'm gonna be Gucci. I'm gonna have my own apartment in 2 years and live on my own. You know what I mean? And that's okay with me. That's all I want in life. But I can go even further.
Mr. McCormick, thank you for telling me you're proud of me. I appreciate that on Facebook Live.
I want to say shout outs to my boy McCormick.
Thank you, dude.
Hopefully we can have like a lengthy convo, because we haven't had one of those, and obviously, you know, that's just the nature of work. But one of these days there'll be a lengthy convo, and we can all I don't know, we can just discuss, because all we have are like the short convos with our like break time. But
And
I'd
that's
love to have
usually,
like a long discussion with you.
that's usually our banter.
Yeah, it's pretty much the banter. Yeah, essentially what Kevin's trying to do is try, you know, he sees the people around him trying to do big things, their own, like everybody with their own creative endeavors, trying to reach certain dreams. He's trying to see how everybody can, to put simply, help each other to reach these said dreams. There is another, I want to say there's another a goal to it. Obviously, you would know more about that than I do. But, yeah, we've got people. We've got, quickly shot them out. You've got my boy Run Amok. You've got Box Lord. You got BYOB. You've got your boy Farah. You've got,
Nick.
yeah, Pickleless Nick. Yeah, Antonio. There's like a bunch of people, which hopefully at some point, maybe after this podcast, we can hook them up with the link and whatnot. But I've seen the work myself,
We could play some of it.
and I've seen the work myself, and a lot of these people are really talented, and all they need is really just the exposure. I'm not saying this podcast is going to give them that exposure, but like the collective, yeah, just documentation, seeing where we all start from, kind of seeing like if you've ever had that kid that you knew growing up. Let's say you're older, you're 18, or maybe like let's say like you're 18 or you're 14 even, and you got like your little friend that's probably like 4 or 5 years younger than you, and all of a sudden you see this dude grow into like a man or a woman or whatever, and you know, it's like, damn, like I saw this person mature before my eyes. And I think that's the kind of like thing that everybody's trying to achieve as well. It's just like all the documentation, and again, we're all trying to like help each other out and see what we can do for each other, what we can provide for each other, and yeah. And I think like each person has like their own role. Like we have like a couple of people who are trying to be like musical artists, and then we have like producers. We have people that are artists. The artists are getting together with the artists and the branding and whatnot. And then you've got the people who are on like the video end, content creation of video content creation, kind of like what me and Neo do. And we're trying to piece it all together. And at some points, you know, kind of like a Venn diagram, we all like get together and produce things in our own way. Like if Neo needs like a soundtrack done, whatever, you've got people for that. If I need some art done,
just so you know that he's not actually Neo, I'm Neo.
Oh, that's Neo right there. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's essentially what this 27 Club is.
I feel like Janet Jackson, like wardrobe malfunction out here. Right?
Thank you, Wikipedia, for joining Facebook Live. Thank you, Karen, for joining.
Yeah, he can he can provide
Background.
He can provide better background info for the name and whatnot before he takes this mic for another 40 minutes.
No, keep it short. My bad. All right.
But yeah, he really wants this mic for another 40 minutes.
Let him finish his thought first.
I've already lost my thought, so you can have this mic. You're welcome.
My bad. Yo, fisticuffs. Y'all here to fight for the mic, dude?
Nah, go ahead. I'm out of whatever. I'm out of things to talk about.
Damn, that was actually kind of crazy. Widditsama, McCormick said he can't wait. He misses you. He misses both of us.
You're looking like a shaven bootleg ass Triple H, and I'm making
shaven look.
Like
all right, hold on. You said I look like a bootleg Triple H. I'm about to roast this.
Reds.
I'm sorry. I'm about to roast this kid.
No, don't roast. You don't got time for that. Let's just talk, bro.
See, you throw.
Nah, you gave up.
I always looked at Witted as more of a Randy Orton, kind of like a young little Randy Orton guy.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I can kind of. He doesn't have any tattoos.
Just never forget that you're my seed.
No, you know what you are. You're like Bernie Sanders with a steel chair. That's what you are, bro.
Oh damn. The man said he used the Money in the Bank championship case.
Thanks. Well, at least you're not getting small loans of $1 million. Cough, cough. Either way. What he's trying to say basically to make it bullet points is
JP, thanks for joining Facebook Live.
Hey, thank you. But what basically it is we're making connections. Long story short, the way the business works in the industry is you make friends.
Daniel Gaston, thanks for joining.
Hey,
Alchemist D1.
That's right. Keep going, Kevin. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Is it difficult for you to keep your train of thought when you're interrupted?
No, I'm not distracted. Just pause. I can continue. But either way,
Go ahead.
it's all about making networks, and all it takes is you being cool with that one person who did that video for Beyonce to do it for you for free.
Mm-hmm.
And you get that one person, then you make another connection with someone who's cool, and you make this team of high-ranking people. But since you're so cool with them, because you've done so many favors for them, you could do one big shoot. Like you could shoot a Bruno Mars video quality or like real high-quality video, and that's all it takes. With that 110% quality, you put it out there, someone's going to pick it up. Yeah, and you make $1 million, or you make whatever you're going to make, and it's just building the platform.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I apologize, by the way. I know that you're having a conversation with all of us, and if you see me looking around a lot, don't take it personal. I'm actually listening to everything you're saying. I'm just also looking at different social media links to see how they're going.
No, I know, bro.
So I guess what I'm saying is I don't want you to think that I'm not paying attention to you, because I am. Because that's pretty much it. But thanks to anybody that's hopping on board real quick. I appreciate all your support. You guys are amazing. Kevin here is doing some big things, and before he continues, I just want to say one quick thing. We're all in different crossroads in our lives, you know. Like I think we can all agree on that.
Yes.
And I like the enthusiasm. I like the energy that's radiating from you right now.
Yeah.
It's actually inspiring. It motivates me as well because I'm a little older than you, and I've definitely had my moments of slack where I've slacked off, where I've said I was going to do things and then I ended up not doing anything.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm telling you from like, I guess like a more experienced perspective, if you want to say, that it's very good. It's very refreshing to see you doing these things. I think it's actually really amazing. And seeing you and Witted and everybody around me, my boy Luna, he has his, you know, he's doing his thing as well. We all, I think what's important is that while we're moving up is just to make sure we support each other and have each other's backs.
That's all it is. The thing about the artist community is that we all think we're all hot shots. You know, I was guilty of that in high school. That's why I failed. I told myself I was hot shit, and instead of admiring everybody's work and what they do, I just focus on myself. So when I fail and I had no one else to see how they fail, how they got over it, I failed, you know? And that's what it is, bro. Yeah. Artists need to support each other.
Yeah, but you know what? You got to fail. And I think I think it was Will Smith, actually. He not a philosopher by any stretch of the imagination, but I remember he put up a video recently online where he was talking about how you have to fail constantly. And if you don't learn from your lessons of failure, then it was for nothing.
It was for nothing.
You know, so basically, I guess the moral of the story is that if you fail, it's okay. Because as long as you learn from it and you bounce back and you didn't give up and you didn't let it, like, destroy your motivation and your passion, then you know your resolve. I think those are good things to know. So failure is not necessarily a bad thing as long as you continue.
Exactly. And there's a film by Jim Carrey that I didn't even see the whole thing. I only saw maybe like 5 minutes or 7 minutes of it. I just got the gist of it. It's called Yes Man, right? The basic principle of the film is that this guy makes a commitment to this like crazy, cokey like cult. And then they basically say the only thing we believe in this like religion / cult thing is that you got to say yes to everything for like 30 days, and it might change your viewpoint in life. And this guy's depressed, the Jim character he plays. So now he lives the first 30 days of the month. Whatever happened, bro, no matter what it is they tell him to do, he has to say yes. And what happens he finds in life is that the little things he kept saying no to because of him being like down about shit and like upset, no stops progression. You know what I mean? And I got that. And I said, hey, what if I just, whatever pops into my mind for what I'm chasing, instead of saying no, let me do yes and try, you know? And if it's not to die for it, but, you know, put effort every day, daily, 20% of your effort in that day to your goal, it's going to add up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Freddie, thanks for coming on board Facebook Live. Any thoughts with it?
I'm sorry. I don't know. I heard yes, man. I obviously, you know, I stepped aside to.
Basically, what Kevin was saying is that he thinks it's important for him personally to say yes to a lot of things as far as opportunities that come to you. Because if you're just saying no all the time, you don't really give yourself that experience. You're not giving yourself the opportunity to like really do what it is that you have to do.
Yeah, I think the moral, just don't be scared to try something. Just try it out. You know, you don't know what you're capable of with whatever you feel like you might be good at. You want to draw, you think you're good at it, try it out. Practice it. Do what you gotta do. Streaming. You know, if I said, you know what, I don't think I'm gonna get big at streaming. I'm still not big at streaming by any stretch of the imagination. But I'm trying it. I'm doing it. And there's a lot of people that I've met through streaming that I wouldn't have met if I didn't just try it and see like what I can accomplish with it. A lot of really good people actually that I've met, and without getting too deep into it, I'm just very grateful that I tried something, and that's just the idea, or rather the gist of it. Just try it. Don't let doubt keep you from going after something. If you're not hurting anybody else and if you're not hurting yourself, go ahead and try it, man. Just
No, definitely.
Nike, just do it, you know? No sponsorship though.
Yeah, this show does not sponsor Nike. Meet Your Zolofs have bases of improv, yes, and improv is life. Flying Lion says, what's up, bro?
Manny! Can I throw a quick shout out to Manny? It's Manny, I'm fucking, Manny knows Kevin. You already know, my boy Junior. Fuck. Just real quick, if you guys, anybody who's listening, follow my boy Flying Lion, FLYINGLION at twitch.tv.
Yes.
Legit, like my boy, he's out here streaming Zelda games. So if you like that, get into that. Sorry, I had to plug it on your stream, but
no, it's fine.
He again, like people that beyond like new people that I've met, like people that probably have grown a stronger connection with just because of Twitch. Manny's definitely one of them. So,
OG.
Just
OG, way back in fucking high school, this guy Manny had the best jokes, bro. He used to roast people, and I stayed away from getting roasted by this guy, bro. So Manny, thank you for not roasting me. Respect.
Manny or Flying Lion, if you want to roast him at any point and you want to say a joke.
Nah, nigga, don't do it. Brother, don't do that. Yo, we Dominican, tú sabes, países también. You know,
Oye, pero ve acá, loco. Yo soy dominicano también.
¿Y qué?
¿Qué tú estás tratando de decir?
Está bien, coño.
Roast this nigga right here.
No habla inglés. No habla inglés.
Exactly. Fuck out of here.
A huevo, coño.
Rob, you're getting in serious reds. Just.
I'm sorry.
I think you could talk from a distance actually because you're.
I'll talk right here.
Yeah, because you have a very like strong voice.
This nigga yelling into the mic like he Anthony Santos, bro. Calm the fuck down.
Mir says, roast him, Manny.
No, don't do that.
Both of them, I seen that.
No, I mean, the only thing you should roast about Robert, honestly, bro, why you stop drawing, bro? Keep up with your drawing, bro. Stop drawing, you know.
What are you talking about? Robert draws Japanese eyes at work all the time.
But you gotta get beyond eyes, bro. Come on, you draw figures or some shit. I don't fucking know, bro.
It's just not my, like, If I had more time to do that, if I wasn't working,
don't just shut the fuck up. Don't get that excuse because that's the same excuse I hear all the time, bro.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not gonna cut you off.
If you let me finish,
I'm sorry, bro.
I'd rather take.
I'm so bad
if we take like 9 hours. Okay, so let's say there was about 10 hours of my day taken away because I spent an hour preparing to go to work and then an hour to come back and calm down, right?
Yeah.
If you take that, right, then that means I have 14 hours of the day. I'd rather spend those 14 hours of the day streaming than drawing. Because streaming is my strong suit and it's not drawing. Though, if I had more time in a day, then yeah, I'd go ahead and work on my hobby. But since drawing is my hobby, it's fine. I don't need to do this.
I'm sorry.
I'd rather stream. Of course, that opens up the possibility of doing like maybe drawing streams and whatnot. But that's just not the passion. That's not the craft that. Not to put it bluntly, that's not the craft I'm trying to sell people. I'd rather, like find an audience through like my personality and just video games, which is just something that I'm quite frankly a lot better at than drawing.
I'm sorry, bro. I just want to apologize for my
Don't
rudeness.
apologize. I don't want to hear
bad.
No, it's fine.
I sound like Gangstar out here, like just interrupting people and telling them all this shit. I gotta watch my lines, bro.
No, it's fine. Also, just be mindful that I guess at the end of the day, you could tell anybody what they should continue doing based off of the talents that they have.
Oh yeah.
But we're all gonna allocate and we're all gonna like pinpoint on one thing that we want to do specifically. Mir said, "Oh, Robert draws at work." I don't know if he still does. He used to back in the day. He could answer that for you.
I only draw when I have time. Like if there's like serious downtime and we've literally nothing to do, I'll draw on like a Post-it note. And then obviously like if anyone's seen on Twitter, I drew on like my Samsung Galaxy Note 8, which I mean one of the reasons why I have that phone is that hopefully I'll get back into drawing. But again, it's not a priority. It's all about
I'm
streaming.
sorry. My bad. I also forgot that you stream a lot. I keep forgetting. My bad.
It's like Gary Vee says, triple down on your strengths. And of course, if I've got time, who knows? 2-3 years down the line, if I'm some sort of like streamer on like, Summit 1G tier who pulls 28K on like a simple like stream, and I do my 8 hours on that, and then I got time to like draw and whatnot, then yeah. But right now, trying to get somewhere with the streaming thing.
La Liz Luz, thanks for joining.
Hey, I just want to say the reason why I'm so personal is because back in high school, we went to the same high school and we had the same art class. He had this character, some bullshit ass character. The name, what was his name again? Jason what?
This is Jason.
Jason.
Why is he a bullshit character?
Because the whack ass name. We're in a class. No offense, Rob. That character was whack, bro.
So, like, apparently Jason is a whack ass name. So you need to have a name. First of all, excuse me. Let me pull back. First of all, he had a character named Johnny Rocket. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right fucking now. First of all, that's a fucking restaurant.
Okay.
That's first off. Second of all, how corny do you sound? Johnny Rocket! Like, come on, kid. That's as bad as Speed Racer. Are you kidding me?
That ass out. Thanks for joining.
Nah, I'm serious. Like, can we get a poll? Like,
how
how bad is Johnny Rocket? Like, I don't mean to shit on your character. Well, the only reason why I'm shitting on your character is because you're trying to shit on my character because I called him Jason and because he looked like the Abercrombie assassin, as one person put it, because he looked fly with his back. Anyway, first of all, it's just called Johnny Rocket. That's one step below fucking Beyblade. That's how corny as that name is. All right, like. Don't come at my character. I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't want to flame you.
You guys should have joined your characters and called them J and J.
I'm getting to that. That's the best part. He didn't let me finish. Basically, back in senior year, I was really ambitious in my art, and I always thought of like doing projects with people, in groups.
Not Freddy.
So I basically just made a comic book with like all 5 of us as characters, like from all my top artists in my class I was friends with. We made like a versus comic fighting each other. And what was so fun about this is, we always dream of seeing our characters in the big screen. Well, here's our chance to have our characters in a book all together. How was that experience, Rob? Tell them about that.
Okay, before he like...
You guys feel free to talk. I'm going to grab a beer.
Yeah, it's fine. Before he slanders my character...
I'm not going to slander the character.
Nah, he's going to slander my character.
No, bro, I swear.
So like in this cooperative comic book, we pretty much like we would draw like the next few panels and then we pass it off to the next artist. It was like a little fight.
A timeshare comic.
Yeah, it was a little fight between like however many characters, 2, 3, 4, whatever.
3, right? 3.
Yeah, and at some point I actually stopped caring. I really stopped caring, and then they just Kevin and I believe Alan.
We annihilated his character.
Kevin and Alan, like, essentially they just drew like whatever the fuck they wanted, because I stopped caring. I didn't care. Like, it was just like extra, and it was just like whatever drawing. At that point in high school, drawing was was stripped down from like some sort of like dream to like something that just I just want to do it as a hobby.
Antonio Castro, shout out.
Shout out to my boy Gen 2. Yeah, that's why my character got beat the hell up, because at some point I was just like, man, I don't care anymore.
I mean, I'm not gonna roast anymore. I'm just gonna cut it short. But basically, it was awesome to see our characters like be featured, and his character. I still have respect for his character because we didn't kill him off in the comic. Hats off to that. Thank you. But he just basically went from being like this emo looking Abercrombie model with black hair and a black sweater, like cool guy, like Yamcha. He was like a cool Yamcha, Dragon Ball Yamcha.
You see, all right, before
I just said you was
then,
gonna slander my
no,
character.
but I'm not slamming.
Comparing to Yamcha. Hello?
I'm not talking about how he got roasted.
Realistically, you can't compare any character to Yamcha because.
But I like Yamcha.
No, that's fine. But like Yamcha's not exactly like upper echelon. He's the
not.
guy that everybody makes fun of. I think Arby's has a commercial where did you see that ad? Yeah, he's in his iconic pose every time he dies. How he's just like in that same pose.
Cyberman when he got blown up.
Yeah, when the Cyberman blew him up. Yeah, exactly. So I think comparing his Jason to a Yamcha is just like.
But you know what's so crazy, bro? Every single Dragon Ball Z game I play, what my two favorite characters I always put on my roster? I know it's crazy. I always gotta put Raccoon in Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi 3. It was Yamcha and Raccoon. They had to be like my captains, but Yamcha was the captain because Wolfang Fist, bro, on Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi 3, when you combo that's like a 30-hit combo, bro. It's a wrap. You could kill somebody with that nigga, bro. One hit. And I got so good, and it's nice to see that the ultimate underdog character becomes something serious. Like, I'm that talented.
Yo, go ahead. No. I took. Alright, bet.
No, go ahead.
Can we talk about, because I don't watch Dragon Ball Super, so I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Oh, Dragon Ball Z.
There's a screen cap. I guess this is Android 21, I think is her name. It's some pink Majin Buu looking woman.
Okay, so I can actually tell you about that. So Android 21, she's actually an exclusive character to Dragon Ball Fighters. The new fighting game that came out. She's basically the main antagonist in the story mode, and she's also an unlockable character at the end. So it looks like she's fused with the cells of like Majin Buu and Cell. So she kind of like she has a urge to like want to eat people and
there's
turn them into
also a
candy.
human because I've seen a human not polygon but like a human model, like some chick with like brown hair and glasses.
You know what? That's actually Android 21 before she transforms.
Okay.
So her true form is that Majin Buu-ish type character. Yeah, but she's essentially, like I said, she's the main antagonist, and the story's a little like finicky, but it's a story because you don't really buy a Dragon Ball game for the story, you buy it for the fighting.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. No, but it's dope. I actually have it on PS4.
Yeah, because like I seen this, I'm like, who the fuck is this character? It's just funny because like right now there's a meme going around on Twitter. I guess there's a dialogue in the game. I mean, it shouldn't be a spoiler. I don't consider it a spoiler, and I don't even have the game. It was like, it may seem like I'm older, but I'm actually not even 10 years old. And mind you, this character, the way they drew it, she's literally. Can I get vulgar? Like, I mean, I know you said I could curse, but like, we're on Facebook Live. Yo, no judgment. Like, this chick has tits. Like, this drawn character has like these fully developed like tits and like body and whatnot. So obviously she's definitely older than. Obviously I get it because she's an android. She was probably produced like 3 years ago to look like this older female. But there was like a meme going around, and people were like, they're doing that reaction, like because like they think she's older than whatever, but then she says that, and so they're doing like all these like funny reactions, like I'm gonna pretend to not hear that, like some silly shit. I just thought that was... I don't even know why I brought that up. It was just like you guys were talking about Dragon Ball Fighters. I'm like, yo, who the fuck is this? Because that's been like the meme of the day. And I'm seeing this.
I've been on social media all day, and I haven't seen that at all.
Yeah, dude's on Twitter. I'm following some Twitter people.
Oh, no, yeah, no, I know that. I mean, I get it. They're... haha, they're making a little fucking joke, whatever. It's a meme. But, yeah, I guess essentially, she clearly was created not long ago. And that's, I guess, where the joke spans from, because she's, I guess, fully developed and whatnot.
I'm just saying, in the Dragon Ball world, who like, you gotta marry, fuck, kill any of the Dragon Ball Z, like, women. Like who's on your 3? Who you marrying, who you fucking, and who you killing?
The hottest girls in Dragon Ball?
Who we doing?
Including Dragon Ball 2?
Well, we could include the whole series, I guess.
I'm sorry, because Bulma gets ugly, so she's getting the kill. I'm sorry. She's gone. She's gone.
In Dragon Ball days.
Well, Bulma from what period? Because like
Bulma gets ugly. I mean, okay, let me
because
preface
Bulma looks
this.
good
I'm
in her
not
prime,
shallow.
yo.
I'm not shallow
Look good on
whatsoever.
Planet Namek. I would still top that. On that fucking space pod, there would be nothing but that. The whole trip through Namek, and Gohan would be like in the room. Don't come in the room, Gohan.
It'll gotta be the Daddy. I'm
Yeah,
seeing
that's
something.
right. Like, I'm about to be a daddy right now with this bitch right now, so don't interrupt. You know? And
Krillin's like, Gohan!
Yo.
No, don't come!
he be facing the corner somewhere the whole trip. Krillin. No, but Krillin's the man, though. He be repping Goku all the time. Real talk. That's
Oh,
the piece
no.
of Krillin, bro. That ass, he died in GT, so
Yeah, but he's back.
he back, though.
GT's not considered canon,
He's not
so
canon,
it's
thank God.
he's back in Super, and
That
he's
was a-
actually had a pretty important role at certain points.
That was a dick move to kill him off in GT like that, right? What the fuck? That
Well,
was-
you know what it is? GT was Goku time. You know, they basically wanted to have it all about him. You know, initially it was supposed to be about like Goten and Trunks, but I guess they decided, hey, let's just make Goku a kid again, and it'll be like original Dragon Ball, and then we can have the glory days. But it didn't turn out that way, and that's why halfway through the GT series, they kind of changed it up a little bit. They made him level 4, and then you know he grew up when he was level 4. He had the tail, he had the furry back. It was crazy.
My boy was an animal.
Yeah, no, he
that was
was.
such a disconjointed mess, that GT series.
But that Android 21 chick is on the fuck list. And then I'm probably gonna marry Android,
How she look like?
the blonde chick, Android 18, I think her name is. Those are my 3.
What up, Samantha?
And if you disagree,
No,
then that's
you know,
not my fault.
You know who was hot as fuck that looked just like Bulma but wasn't Bulma? Marin. Krillin's like first.
Oh, Marin.
Oh yeah.
Marin, Marin.
She also wasn't a canon
Gold
character. She
digger
was
ass.
in the Garlic Jr. saga.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks just like Bulma. You know, there's actually a joke about that in Dragon Ball Super. So, who was it? Android 17.
Another beer.
Yeah, that's fine. He mistakenly calls their daughter Marin, which was the actual spelling for Kuririn's girlfriend before, which was the one that looks like Bulma. So Android 18 tells him, "Yo, if you call her that again, I'll kill you." You know, so as to say that that's like a little shout out to her character because that's his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
So they don't want the exes to be mentioned and whatnot. That's just pretty interesting.
I always wonder why the fuck he called his daughter that. I'm like, what? What the fuck would you call her?
Because he's a masochist, man. You don't see those 6 burn marks he has on his forehead, man. He doesn't even have a nose. You think Krillin gives any fucks?
Nah, yo, this fucking girl, Android 21, looked like fucking hentai borderline for Dragon
She looked
Ball.
good, man.
What's going on, yo? Damn.
You know what I
Akira
think it's
Toriyama?
funny that they're calling the memes keep saying, you know, like she's 10 years old or whatever, or under 10.
Yeah.
But her name is Android 21.
Ah.
So is she 10 or is she 21? Like, what's going on here? She's clearly not 10
No, she's
because
21.
that lady grown. Like, I was looking at her in the game. I'm like, damn, she's animated very well.
Yeah. That's fucking ridiculous. God damn. What about this show also making hot? Not show. This game, Pokemon. This is new fucking gym leader with glasses, apparently. I don't know who she is.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in Pokemon anymore. I haven't seen Pokemon
Rob,
in so long.
you know. Rob knows. When he come back, he'll let you know.
I'm opening a beer.
Let me get one, too.
Oh, Kevin, you want a beer?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. That's what I'm talking about. So, Kevin finally wants a beer. So, your tooth is feeling better?
Yeah, I don't feel anything.
Is it safe to say that the pain isn't hitting you to the point where you can't, like, have a beer?
I mean, I might need a pen, though, later on.
All right, no, that's fine. I'm
fine.
drinking some whiskey on the
No,
rocks.
fuck the beer, bro. Fuck
Well,
the beer. No,
not
no,
even
no.
rocks. I'm just drinking whiskey on its own. So that's what I'm doing
I'm gonna
right
have the
here.
pen later on, like in an hour, just to feel better.
Man, I didn't forget about my Facebook peeps. What's going on, y'all? There's like one of you watching now, but it's okay.
Let's crack.
Oh, Rob, what do you do?
Oh my God! Just know the whole world saw that, or 5 people saw that.
All good.
Either way,
Are we talking about Pokemon?
yeah,
I heard
you,
about that.
You know that new gym leader with the glasses? She's like wearing like some scarf shit, and she's like super thick apparently.
Oh,
What's her
Miss,
name?
that's Professor Wick. She's not even a gym leader. Or at least I don't believe so.
What?
She's a professor.
What the fuck is going on with
She's
Pokemon?
not, cause she's like she's a professor for this I forget what the
She's a professor for Brazzers, basically. For
Oh my God!
she's a professor for
Don't be surprised. There's a porn for that already.
There's like a research laboratory
right.
or whatever. They're researching like Pokemon, like, and if I mess up my Pokemon facts, I'm sorry, cause like I legit played through Sun and Moon once. She's like a professor and whatnot, and yeah, it's about as curvaceous a character as they've ever. Well, no,
Wow.
let me not lie. Nintendo's flirted with like the sexy line, so to speak, a few times with Pokemon, but
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Professor Wick. They call her. Her nickname is Professor Thick with 2 C's. Yeah.
Yo, I could imagine. Well, of course they flirted with it. I mean, look at Nurse Jenny. Officer Jenny. Look at Nurse Joy. You know, and then there was that episode that was like banned in America where they were like in the beach, and I think like Misty and Jesse. Jesse. Yeah,
James had fake tits.
Yeah, exactly. So they definitely fooled around. Nintendo. It's funny because as much as they want to cater, Nintendo, I guess, is family in Japan. They want to cater to all these families. They try to like sneak in little things like that in the side.
And
go ahead.
And you know what blew my mind about Pokemon was how the fuck they got away with Misty wearing shit like that at her age. I was like, that's not cool, bro. Even as a kid, I was like, I never seen nobody shit wear like that, and like parents were like, didn't know, like they were shitting Pokemon to let slide at us that was like adult shit, and you'd be like, oh, what the fuck?
I think that's just like common in like just cartoons in general. They always slide in something, something adult that only adults would get or something like that. Like, bro, the fucking the mayor's wife, I forget, I don't know what her name is. The mayor's wife from Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, yeah.
The fucking
secretary.
Yeah, the secretary. It's what? That's like Carrot Top with tits. Like,
Oh, we got a special guest.
Oh, special guest Rachel.
Oh no, animals.
Oh snap!
I hate cats.
You hate cats.
Yes.
So Robert's Widditsama's cat Rachel just entered the fray. She's in the battle now. Want to say what's up, Rachel?
Let me hold this bitch. Let me hold this pussy.
Oh damn.
Let me see, yo.
Oh.
I haven't said hi to this cat in a long time, honestly. I don't call it Rachel.
Mir says Rachel and she says Kevin. What the fuck?
My bad. Yeah, I could be a douchebag sometimes. I'm sorry. It's just animals, like they leave fleas and like fur, and I hate that. You know what I mean? Fucking, it's a pest, but they're cool. I don't mind. Hey, what's up? That's dope. I wouldn't have it in my house personally. A pet. I'm sorry. No way. A lizard.
Are you allergic to cats?
No, is that my brother had asthma growing up as a kid, and like we always like try to have an animal as a kid, and like it wasn't cool. He couldn't have one cat in the house. He'd go to the hospital, and we had to hook him up to a machine to breathe.
My mom was always allergic to cats, but for some reason, some way, somehow, you know how Dominicans are, man. Like we had animals, like whether it was a caged rabbit or a cat that we found in like the back alley, or we never had a dog. That's one thing. As a kid, we never had like an actual dog. It was always like it was either a cat, a rabbit, parakeets. There was some sort of animal in the house, but I mean, I guess as long as you're not allergic, I mean, it's okay. Rachel's nice sometimes.
Hey, bagels. I didn't call her Rachel. I call her bagels. The reason why I hate calling her Rachel is because I saw Batman: The Dark Knight 5 times, and this guy fucking yelling Rachel. What's his name? Christian Bale, and the other guy Aaron Eckhart. Like when I hear this guy's cat named Rachel, I just go to the scene where he's like bagels, and he's like yelling. I didn't even know what he was saying. He was so pissed off. Christian Bale's voice in that shit like goes like ridiculous, And that scene when he's trying to find her, he's like bagels, bagels, and like he's saying bagels, like shit, bro.
Christian Bale's voice, man. It's interesting how he's actually known more for the way he did his voice as far as his performance is concerned.
Oh my gosh, right?
Where's Rachel?
Yeah, exactly. Like I remember
Where's Rachel?
But he was like, the people of Gotham
just
showed you that they believe. And it's like when you look at the original Batmans, like I know you love old school stuff like in the 80s and whatnot. I don't know.
Michael Keaton?
Yeah, Michael Keaton's Batman. What I thought was actually interesting about his Batman was the fact that he had a normal tone to his voice. Like he had a very like quiet but very subtle voice. So when he spoke, he didn't have to like create this like fake voice. Yeah, like his soft spokenness as Batman, I think, was more intimidating than creating some random voice.
And what Michael Keaton shocked the world with, he was like the Heath Ledger of that time because
Did he die?
No, asshole. But he basically is you interrupt because that's a dumb question. Obviously, he alive. He just made a movie last year, RoboCop.
I didn't know.
Damn, man, who don't know Michael Keaton, bro? He's one of the most famous actors of all time. One of my favorites too, because his acting, it's not that he's the best actor of all time. It's that his eyebrows. He knows how to do like mad shit with his eyebrows.
Well, you know what? As he's gotten older, he also looks more evil. Because like, did you see him in Spider-Man when he was the Vulture?
Yeah, he was a douche.
Yo, your man's was like, he was like.
That
I know who you are,
car?
Peter.
Woo.
Yeah, he was talking to him in the car. Freddie just finished saying, let's talk about weed candy trucks. I don't know about no weed candy trucks that are happening in Midtown. I don't know if you guys are in particular. But welcome, Crystal. Thanks for joining.
Hey.
Yeah, no doubt.
Shout out to Crystal.
But yeah, Michael Keaton, you know, and in his performance of Batman, it was that when he played Bruce Wayne, he didn't have to yell at the bad guys. It was kind of like he was still talking, but just more like stern about it now. It's like without having to raise his voice. It's like, imagine this. I'll try. This is him talking as Bruce Wayne. Oh, hi, I'm Bruce Wayne. You know, he's energetic. You know, he's a billionaire. You know, he's hype. And then when he's Batman, he's like, oh, hi, I'm Bruce Wayne. You know, without having to yell. It's just like, it's a calmer demeanor, you know?
How does that...
No, but what was crazy, he was a comedy actor. He only did comedies for all his performance. He was doing comedy.
Jim Carrey, bro. And he did number 23.
It's like, imagine Michael Cera being Batman now.
Michael Cera?
Yeah, that's what it was at the time.
Michael Cera can't do that.
I know, but
he's not a comedian. No, I know. He's like a... I'll be quiet. First of all... Right.
You don't even know who this Michael Keaton guy is. My bad, bro.
I don't know who Michael Keaton is.
No,
Michael's...
Wikipedia said he's seen the trucks, but he's afraid to approach them in the city. So I guess
I would be scared to approach him too.
I would too, because it's almost like they're selling you ice cream, but it's not really ice cream. It's some other shit, and you don't know if like they're gonna like throw you in the truck or they're gonna do some shit. But
go for one too.
What was I even talking about?
Michael Cera.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, he started talking about Michael Cera. Michael Cera is such a like you can't even compare him to like Batman. Is that like exactly Michael Keaton was like Michael Cera?
No, okay,
this awkward white nerd kid.
I'm gonna make it better. Okay, imagine if Jesse Eisenberg killed it as Lex Luthor. Like it was like wow, this performance is like
Jesse
amazing.
Heisenberg.
Yeah.
Who's that?
The guy who played Lex Luthor.
He's also the one that played Mark Zuckerberg in the Facebook movie.
Yeah, him.
Oh, him.
Yeah, imagine him playing a superhero.
He's like Michael Cera. Like if we had to put actors in like a Pokemon evolution line, Michael Cera was like the first evolution, and then Jesse Eisenberg is like the second evolution. Yeah. He's like a fucking crocodile. Yeah. Or a war turtle, really. Okay, that's but like, nah, like legit, like. I still don't see him playing Batman.
No, but imagine if he did play Batman and killed it. That's what I'm saying. That's what it was at the time.
Not to distract from the combo, but what would be his final evolution? Michael Cera's final evolution. If Jesse Eisenberg is the middle evolution.
The topper echelon of that.
It must be this dude that played Thor.
No. Yeah, I know. Christian Hemsworth. Right? He could play nerdy character, and then it's like Jason Tatum. No, not Jason Tatum. No, Channing Tatum. They're like in that echelon of like nerd niggas, but like, oh, now we like super cool as fuck. Like, what the fuck?
Yo, like, is Channing Tatum even his real name? I'm convinced. I kind of feel like he got that name from like two different people and just like fused it together.
You know what's so absurd about the industry when I found out working in it is that a lot of these famous people, that's not their name. These are names that kind of give themselves to market themselves better, easier.
Yeah, like legit. Like, Widditsama, you guys get anywhere? No, because I would have been famous already. Real quick, before I... Yo, is that water bag like the thing we fill it up and you drink out the?
Yeah.
All right, that'll answer your question. The person that asked in the Discord. I'm trying to get you.
No, what was the question?
No, he was like, is that one of those things where you drink the water out of?
Oh yeah, so I actually purchased this when I was doing the Spartan race. I thought that I would need it, but in reality, I guess I was in better shape than I thought I was. But yeah, you essentially like. It's like you're sucking a tit. Like you just put the thing on your mouth and you just like pull the water out. But it's crazy because you have to squeeze it with your tooth. So when you're squeezing it, it has like a small little opening, and you're just like, so like.
Oh, like a gerbil. How they got the little water.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it is. So yeah, you can get one of those in Modell's or like I guess any like sporting goods store would probably have it.
You're training how to suck titties. That's great, bro. Girls gonna appreciate that.
Oh my God.
Hey, you said it, not me.
I want to apologize. This is 2018. You know what I mean? I am updated with this thing. I'm just joking, man. My bad. I apologize. Please. Michael Keaton. Yes. Right. His performance. And right. So aside Michael Keaton blowing everyone away, this guy also, Jack Nicholson, killed it as Joker. At that time, he was still the best Joker.
Well, yeah, it's interesting because I guess when you compare the Jack Nicholson that did the Joker during that era, and then I guess you consider like a Heath Ledger. Yeah. Heath Ledger was, I guess voted as like the best, like one of the best like villains of all time. Oh yeah. The role that he played personally. It kind of sucks that the Olsen twins killed him, but you would never think that Full House characters would be capable of stuff like that. But yeah, I guess what I'm really trying to get to is that I think Jack Nicholson, there was just something about him. Because if you ever saw, did you see The Shining? Did you ever watch The Shining?
Hell yeah, I fucking saw The Shining.
Yeah, so The Shining, You know, he played a dad that like ended up like going insane. You know, like I guess spirits were talking to him, and he ended up going crazy. And
what's so crazy about Stanley Kubrick's directing and style of his mastery and work, what I appreciate about his work. See, people who are like not really smart or just average moviegoers, they don't understand his work. His work is not about telling you everything. It's about pacing, how realism it is, you know, and not telling the audience everything about the movie. It's about you thinking, whoa, making you think.
Whoa, the KFC's here already?
Yeah,
Dang,
bro.
yo, he OD'd.
Bro,
My boy Widdits about to eat a piece of chicken on the stream right now.
Can you get one? I'm biting into this. You can, yo, I don't know if you can get a drumstick. You probably get whatever the leftovers.
Listen, if you guys feel like you can grab something and talk at the same time, then it's cool.
Interject with yourself. I'm gonna
Okay, yeah, no doubt. So Kevin's gonna go grab a piece of chicken because he's hungrier than a motherfucker, and my boy Widditsama's eating up in here right now. Let's see what's going on.
This is real life, bro. I'm out here trying to eat this KFC.
Well, this is IRL, man. This is a podcast slash
Real
stream
life.
slash Facebook Live slash everything, man. I just want
Uber
to.
eats this shit.
Yeah, they totally did. I
Yeah,
want to
bro.
thank everybody that came on board tonight and is hanging out with us. You guys are freaking awesome. If you have any questions and you want to feel like you want to ask any at any point, feel free. We'll be glad to answer them if we can. And if we don't know the answer, then it's not because we don't want
Oh,
to. But...
special guest!
Oh, Rachel.
Special guest! Oh, special guest!
Rachel just took his spot. We about to get 10 followers right now. Snap, Rachel in the cut. Rachel, what's going on with you? Tell us about your life.
She's sniffing. She's like, yo, where that chicken at? Yeah, chicken's out. Oh, fuck out of here. Oh, speaking to the mic.
She's about to speak.
Speaking to the mic.
We're about to hear her purring in the mic.
I got her.
You should have left her. She might have actually started talking. Mir said, keep Rachel there, no Kevin. Oh, no. Give us, Meet Yours Olaf says, give us meows. Rachel, I have many questions. That's awesome. I mean, I really wish Rachel could respond to all of you. I think that'd be amazing. If she could talk like Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh, yeah, that'd be perfect.
I think that'd be dope. Because she'd be like, Robert gives me all this dry food. No, but no, Robert hooks her up. He takes good care of his cat. She gets wet food. She gets changed. He changes her water every day, and he makes sure that she's properly taken care of. So
This cat
Rachel,
gets the most love. Yo, I don't understand. All right, for anybody who hates cats, Rachel, you're my way. Anybody who hates cats, man. I honestly, like, the only thing different between a cat and a dog is that a dog can, like, fucking run forever. And, like, society pretty much says, hey, you know, we can walk dogs. But there's people that are walking cats, too. Cats are very, like, they love you. Like, legit. Like, this cat right here, me and her, like, we cuddle every day. Like, we're always, like, sleeping together.
bagels.
In a non-sexual way, of course. It's crazy. Like, she's always cuddling, like, in my arm. Like, I'm laying, like, on my side, as some people do, and she's, like, right on my arm. Like, she's it's I don't know, man. It's hard to explain, but, like, legit, like, there are cats out there. I know some people got this idea that cats are, like, assholes, and cats are lazy, or cats are gonna attack you. And I'm not gonna deny that there are some cats, because I've seen the videos that some cats straight up just attack people. It's fine. But there are these golden little nuggets, like Rachel over here.
Vengeful
She's, like,
Nature says,
really nice
"Oh, look,
kitty.
dinner," and then he puts a cat icon, emoticon.
He said, "Oh, look, dinner, bro." Let's not even start with, bro. You are dinner to, like, 50 people on, like, an island somewhere. All right, my boy looking like Pumbaa. Nah, I take that back, bro. You got the KFC.
No, he didn't.
You got the
He didn't
KFC,
take
bro.
it
You
back.
got the KFC, bro.
He didn't-
I love
he-
you, bro.
he doesn't
I love you.
He doesn't love you.
I
No, but
love
you know what is actually interesting, because cats are very unique in the sense that I've heard, this is just what I've heard, I could be wrong, but they have the ability to, I guess, sense whoever needs the comfort the most at that moment. So, like, if you're sick or you're feeling emotionally down, that's typically when cats tend to come up to you and, like, cuddle with you. If you're in a relationship, which I found is weird, because I guess this is how you test, like, the cat's loyalty. The cat will always go to the person that I guess has been the most wronged, And yeah, so cats are very interesting in that sense. Rachel was just trying to eat Kevin's food. Wooded disappeared to go to the bathroom. He has to liberate some fluids. But I thought it was interesting for you guys to see this. Because Kevin, I legit got a whole meal.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yo, just don't eat all of it. I would like some of it before this, after this podcast.
This is it for this. I can't eat too much.
Well, yeah, no, I kind of figured. Believe it or not, as big as I am, I don't really eat that much either. Yeah, I have a very small stomach. I have a large body. I'm an endomorph.
Endomorph. What's that?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know? So there's 3 different classifications for body types, but you can also mix and match them. Mm-hmm. So you would be classified as an ectomorph. Mm-hmm. So essentially, my body type, I have the body type that's very unforgiving, that's punishing. If I eat a bagel, you'll notice the bagel on my stomach right away. I gain weight quickly. If I'm not active, I'll just get fat. Ectomorphs, which is what you are, I would believe. Ectomorphs have long linear body types. They could pretty much eat whatever they want, and they don't really gain any weight. They're classified as having fast metabolisms, but they're not really fast. It's just the way your body is really structured. And then you have mesomorphs, which are considered the genetic freaks. So those are the guys or gals that have natural muscle tone to them, even if they don't work out. They can survive off of a diet of pizza and hamburgers, and they would be okay. They would still gain weight. So then basketball players tend to be ectomesomorphs. So they're long and linear, but yet they have muscle mass to them. So they're actually very powerful. And wrestlers are considered, I guess, a mixture of endomeso, I guess I would say, somewhere like that. But yeah, Rachel's not dinner vengeful nature. I'm sure you want to eat her. As you can see, she's here by her lonesome because they both went to get something to drink. But Rachel's actually purring into the mic, so you might be able to hear her. And if you can't hear her, then I don't know what to tell you guys. These guys are really excited. They're getting their grub on right now. Oh my god. This is pretty much great. I'm having this whiskey on the rocks right now, and it's really good. You never know what'll happen on Neo's Corner. Anything can happen here. I have this unique curtain that's hanging up right now because I'm in a living room. So that's why you see that curtain right there. There's a plant next to it. There's an air purifier. There's another plant. There's a Buddha there, and a couple of other things. Yeah, definitely. And there's a slight hue change because we have an open sign that's turned on, but you can't see it. You can't see it right now. But you can't see it for that simple fact because it's not in view of the camera.
Okay.
So, Kevin, look, welcome back.
Hey, I'm back, and we got this cat here also. It's all up in the space, but it's all good. The thing about Rob's cat that I appreciate that is not a rude cat. Your cat is always so docile, bro.
No, she could be rude sometimes.
Yeah, but as a kid, the first cat I had left me a bunch of scratch marks, and it was a douche-ass cat. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it was a bad experience, Imagine having a bad cat and then giving your brother a fucking asthma, It was terrible. So that was my first experience. But to put it the best way possible, the best movie I ever saw that summarized having pets was Ratatouille. And it's right at the beginning of the movie where he was just cats look down at humans, because they don't really understand why the fuck they're in this room, what's going on. But hey, free food, I'll chill with this person,
The way I've always kind of described a cat, I've always sort of looked at them as they're just living their lives. They're not really aware. They're aware of what's happening around them, but their whole thing is, look, I just want to eat. I just want to sleep for the whole day. I'm domesticated already, so I don't have to go out and get a job. I don't have to pay for anything. I can just sit here and have my master, feed me or whatever. They're completely content with being slaves.
And when we get back, that emotional feeling. I'm feeling down. Hey Rachel. I call her babe sometimes. Baby,
my boy Jordan just joined up in the cut. What's good?
What's good, Jordan? Yeah, Rachel comes through. I'm like, yo, you know what? I give you all this, and you know what? give me some, give me some love. Give me some comfort, and that's what she gives in return. Little fluffy baby, and then I give her, a place to sleep. And I give her something good to eat because we're always out here eating good. I'm having this KFC, yo. Let me tell you.
Either way.
I got the chest.
Yeah.
I got the breast. I got the wing.
You didn't say it right. You
The
got
2-piece and
and
a
a
biscuit.
biscuit.
Got
2
the
pieces.
mac. The
cheese.
fucking mash with the fucking gravy.
I
My
didn't-
nigga,
I
we
didn't-
out here eating good.
I
And I got the Corona.
I think the second is that your second beard, Witted?
This is my fourth.
Your fourth?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Bro, you gotta stop
I
right
yo,
now.
I
You
legit
got
thought
too
you
big.
drank
Oh,
like
you know
2
what?
of them.
Maybe this is my third. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Well, regardless of the fact, I clearly see it's taking effect. Racial worships Rob, according to Amir.
This is true.
Vegapedia laughing my ass off because it is funny. You are a funny individual, and I like how you have a full plate of food next to the mic.
Bro,
while
I'm
you just,
fucking out here. My bad, B.
Like, we can hear you eating.
Yeah, I'm stacking my list. My bad, B.
Man,
We can
Jesus.
legit hear you. Yo, you know what I just realized this whole time?
Uh,
I didn't have my headset on.
oh wow, I'm
It's
surprised.
okay. I'm gonna throw it on right now just so I can gauge what
While
you guys
Rob is
sound like.
chewing on his 2-piece and
Yeah.
a biscuit, did anyone check out what happened in Hawaii with that fucking nuke shit?
Oh, the alert.
What the fuck?
I was in Macy's when that dropped.
Yeah.
Hold up, I need to breathe.
I hope this sounds okay. All right.
I was in Macy's when it dropped. I was on because like I follow a few people that live in Hawaii,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Yo, what the hell is this?" And they're posting up the screenshot of like a thing. And mind you, this was at like 11, 12 o'clock or whatever, and so it's like 8, 9 p.m. for them. I think it's 8. I think it was like 11. Yeah, so it's like 8 p.m. 8 a.m. for them. Excuse me. And like imagine you're sleeping, and you guys know how awful that Amber Alert like sound is. It's annoying. And so imagine you woke up and you heard that and you're like, and you look at your phone and it says, ICMB or ICBM, whatever it's called. You see that inbound Hawaii, seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill. Imagine reading that and how chaotic it must have been for all those people. It's absolutely insane. And apparently it's like some dude that like pressed the wrong button and essentially.
So that's really what it was. That's what ended up happening.
What is
Wow.
it's crazy?
That's what they're telling us. That's some bullshit. You think they're gonna have?
Maybe something might have happened.
No, but you think if you're placed in that position of power to guard something like that, safeguard that,
to make a fucking
and you make a
bad
mistake, but he still got his job back. You know that they didn't even fire him or even slap him on the wrist. Okay, shit happens. Go back to work. The fuck you mean go back to work, bro? People panicked, you know, and like. We had no explanation from the government how this happened, and that's the cheap excuse to give you.
Do you guys know where
button.
your nearest shelter is?
Nobody knows about that, bro. There hasn't been a nuclear scare since 1950, whatever. Since 1985, actually, to be accurate. During the Reagan years. Aside that,
real quick, I hope you guys can hear me because for some reason I can't hear myself on my own headphones. I don't know why, but it looks like my audio is fine.
But disconnect if you want to, bro. Honestly, you know,
what happened?
You can disconnect if you want to.
No, we're good. Don't worry about it. I'm sure they've heard me. We're having I can actually see it. It's just I can't hear it on my mic. Like something's up with that.
Wow.
A little strange. Whatever. I don't need it. It's fine. I'm looking at our levels like from here anyway, so it doesn't look like we're too bad. Yeah. No, but this Amber Alert thing. So you think it was like, you think it was a real one, but it was disguised to be something else?
You know what it is? It's like basically since we're in high alert with North Korea, you know, Hawaii is the closest thing to the North Korea. It could either go two simple ways, man. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, like, it's some crazy shit. It's just, this is a game of politics, you know? And this is, the thing about the wars going on is that, you know, war, like in Fallout 4, it never changes, you know? But it does change.
Yeah.
You know, it adapts, but it's still there. The principle of war is going to be something ingrained in our, like, DNA forever.
Metal Gear Solid 4, war has changed.
Yeah.
You said that war has changed.
Exactly.
Otacon.
Otacon. You know what's so
Yeah.
crazy about Otacon? My brother was an actor, like young actor, like in 5th grade in this after school program, and he acted with Christopher Randolph, the guy who does the voice of Otacon on stage when he was like
really?
7
My
years
boy
old.
Carlos in the cut. What's good, Carlos? How you doing, brother?
What's good, Los?
Yeah, man. Basically, he actually acted with Christopher Randolph on stage in a play, bro.
Oh yeah.
And multiple actors, even Nurse Jackie from Showtime. He even met Stephen Colbert. He actually shook his hand and told him his portrait he signed personally.
Did he wash his hand afterwards, or did he just say, you know what? No, it's not worth it.
You know, it's just overwhelming.
It's my signature. It's his signature.
I know. No, I mean he signed like a portrait that he did, but the thing is that it was overwhelming for someone his age. Can you imagine?
David Rojas, thanks for jumping in.
Yo, but yeah, man, it was overwhelming, you know, and like, that was growing up, you know. But yeah, man, you know, the potential of doing something and achieving it is there. It's about it.
Yeah, no, I hear you, bro. Definitely. I mean, damn. How can I explain this? This is all right. So when I started doing this, right, when I started streaming and I started doing podcasting, I've always felt like I was torn into a lot of different directions. I never quite felt like I had a particular path, and I still don't, to be honest, because every day is a different experience. It's a learning experience, and basically, I'm just really grateful, man, at this point, honestly, because I'm starting to finally feel like I'm figuring it out, and seeing you guys here, as JR would say, these two young studs here, I'm seeing like the future, and I think it's amazing. I think is your tooth hurting? Are you all right? No, you're all right.
Maybe I could take more ibuprofen later.
I mean, well, it's 11:48 right now. You took it when you got here.
You gotta wait until, because you got here like 8:30.
Yeah.
You gotta wait until like 12.
Do you have the pen?
I can get it for you.
Okay, later on. I know.
Okay. I mean, if you want, I could just have the camera on you guys, and you guys just talk among each other, and I'll go get it for you.
Okay.
If you want to do that.
I'll carry the conversation.
Okay, no doubt, because I know Witt is stuffing his mouth.
Yo, so I got to take over for a second.
All right,
I'm
I'll be back in a second.
I'm Neo for 1 minute.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you. Acting. He actually met Christopher Randolph, like I said. But I felt that personally, growing up and like studying and like pursuing arts at a young age was fundamental. Don't you feel that too? Like honestly. Like, didn't it develop you some kind of way, like, in different perspective thinking,
Well, I think it's important for, like, children to find their avenue of, like, expressing their creativity. Whether it be music, whether it be physical art mediums, or whether it be, like, fucking video games. I feel like video games is, like, a way of expressing, like, your creative side.
And what it is, art is just escapism, it's simply put in that manner, escapism and diving deep into subconscious and creativity. The thing about what's so beautiful about artwork and why it's hard to make profession in it, and why it's like looked down upon sometimes, is because it's a craft that you don't go to school with, or you don't need to be a genius. You just have to have a hand and have some kind of skill and learn, and it's a craft that you pick up, and it might do you good. And that's the way I viewed it at a young age, and that's why I appreciated it, and it plays a role in your character.
Yeah, I've recently broken down into, at some point, whoever you are, you have to figure out whether you're a creative person or not. Like, or in a sense that, like, are you a creative where, like, art, regardless of whatever medium you want to consider it, music, whatever. You gotta figure out whether that's like your thing or not. And if it's not your thing, what is your thing?
Yes.
I don't know what the thing is outside of the creative side of things, which is music and physical mediums of art, or like entertainment or comedy. Comedy is a fucking art. Like, if it's not any of those things, I don't know what the other thing is, because that's all I know is like creative. But the sooner people figure out whether they're a creative mind or not, I think the better. Some people aren't like creative. Some people would rather the business approach to things and run something that sells something.
I felt like when I was a kid, the fascinating story about my father. My father came to this country in 1966. At the time, America was divided. There was a lot of things in this country that was going crazy. And he arrived here as an immigrant, no English basically, and moved to the Bronx. And he grew up there in the 60s and 70s. But he was drafted to Vietnam in 1970, 71, 70, around there, to go be a Marines frontline. And the guy barely knew any English at all, and he was drafted. He was going to be sent off, and he didn't know what to do. Can you imagine coming to this country, bro? You're only 2 years in, you got to get drafted to fight in a war you have no understanding about?
I mean, I definitely wouldn't know anything about that, because I've never been to war, nor have I had to be drafted or anything like that. So I can only imagine. I can only empathize with somebody that came into this country and then very shortly after has to enlist in a war that he necessarily doesn't believe in or even fully comprehend what's going on.
And he grew up in DR. It's a small island away from the States. But he arrived here, and it was art that saved him from being drafted because he was an expressionist painter, and he was about to be drafted. But his professor, this lady, was like, "I believe your work is good enough to be in this competition, and it might put you to get a scholarship." And he did. He went to SVA, bro, full ride, scholarship. That's right. And he didn't have to go to work because he was taken off the list as high priority person. Now he's doing shit, and they put him in SVA. And when I learned that art could save and just change your life if you really give it enough effort, and he had no choice but to do that because he would have went to war.
Yeah.
When your back is against the wall, you produce the work.
Yeah. Just to dive deep into what I was saying, it's like the creative versus like whatever the other thing is. You could just change the world in both ways. I feel like creativity, like how many people have like artists like Linkin Park or whoever with their lyrics have kept them from going through with like suicide or feeling like they're all alone in this world with their feelings. Like I'm listening to a band right now, and like there's so many different things in their lyrics that I relate to. I'm like, holy fuck, like I'm not the only person that's feeling the way I feel. Like now they're successful. It's like, yeah, man, art as you said, art changes to art. In many forms saves lives.
I have a question about lyrics and music. So do you guys believe that when you have a particular song, right, that you feel you resonate with, and you're like, hey, damn, I completely understand, I know what this guy's going through, do you think that that's made because that's how the actual artist felt, or because it was written in a strategic way that I guess many people, it's in a generalized way that a lot of people will be able to relate to, sort of like horoscopes? Let me just finish here real quick. I want to unpackage this. I kind of feel like that about horoscopes as well. You ever read a horoscope and you're like, wow, that's totally me. But then when you really stop and think about it, it's written like in a very generalized way that I guess multiple signs could resonate with, and they're like, hey, that can totally relate to me, but it was just done like that by design. Like, well, what are your thoughts on something like that?
Okay. Now, growing up as a kid, I've always had this kind of sixth sense of like psychic shit. Just like a recent story that occurred to me actually 2 weeks ago. I was working in a studio. I was making no money. I needed a job. I do my production shoot. It goes well. I started playing card games, right? And I drew the ace of spades in poker. And I'm glaring at it because there's some energy in this card, man. I don't know. I just picked this card up, bro, and I'm looking at it, and I space out for 30 seconds, bro. I just zone out. I'm not in the room no more, bro. I'm just focused on this card. And it's the ace of spades, and on the card, it's like this like gridded like graphic design of it. Real beautiful, bro. And it had the word aviator on it. And I photographed it. And I had to photograph this card for some reason. I photographed it, right? So that night I draw this illustration of this like demon chick looking crazy thing. And I post that up, right? And it was entitled Painted Black, right? And it goes to show that sometimes when you put your thoughts into motion, you might never know, So I drew that illustration, and then what happened was, bro, it's like I predicted that was going to happen without really noticing until I took a step back.
Yeah.
What occurred was I got this job in this art place, like I told you, with this guy who's really well connected. And I had to work on his canvas for his gallery because he's going to have a show upcoming. And I'm his assistant. So it's like this is like Leonardo and I'm Michelangelo. You know what I mean? Like I'm learning, Or like this is Andy Warhol and Basquiat, Like I'm learning from this guy who knows the art scene really well. And it's kind of like, hey, you're going to be there. You're going to have to pursue the opportunity because it's not about just because I know artists that just draw and they just try to fit in and blend in, and that's whack. As an artist, you want to stand out, not even just with your work, but your personality and the way you dress and the way you carry yourself. It separates you from like the low tier to like you're like in some other realm. And he knew that. So I get this job and I'm doing all this artwork and he's telling me to work on the canvas, and bro, he's like, oh, I've been working this for a couple of months, and guess what's on this fucking big ass canvas, bro?
Right.
A golden ace of spades, like right in the middle of this canvas. I mean, a large canvas, bro. I mean, like it was probably 4x4, bro, big canvas, bro. And he's like, I want you to tape these lines down, and it was the ace of spades, bro. And then when I got home, I was so hyped because he's paying me well now. Like I'm starting with my money adding up and it's building up, and I'm doing it chillantly, bro. I got a job as a studio that I run as a manager, and I do high-end shoots, and anything could be there. It could be a nude porn star, it could be a fucking celebrity or a rapper, and I'm there. Like I have to be in the room with them, 5 feet away from them, working with them personally and like interacting. And then the other job is to work at a not a high end, it's a great art studio that's really well connected and we're known. Like, they're known. I mean, they do top tier work for ESPN and the Olympics and all that shit, bro. They're on the map. And rappers that they know personally. I mean, I'm there, you know. And he had the ace of spades there, bro. So I go home, and then guess what happened? My grandfather died.
Oh, damn.
The illustration, Patent Black, he died the next day, bro. And it goes to show that, you know, those moments in life, like in the Matrix, when it says it's a glitch and you like just deja vu it, you don't pay it mind or look into it. I look into those events, and I see if I can find a pattern. And if it adds up, it just happens without you have to think. It's just like you project it, you know. And yeah, man, it goes to show, like you were saying, how like some things in life, you know, like they're not planned. You're just going with the flow of things and emotions, and then you have these sensations, you know. And that's the way life I'm living it, you know. I'm not waking up and saying I have to have a budget for this one, I have to get this job to make this money. You know, it's like, no, I know what I'm doing. I'm just overthinking it. I know what I'm doing, you know. And look what happened, bro. Look where I'm at, you know, with that mindset of just achieving and just working hard and like letting the emotions hit you. Don't take things personal in life. That's it.
With the original question, whether some people are faking it or not, I do believe that some, I do believe there's probably some artists that fake it. They're like, people sell like, for instance, Pharrell's Happy. I believe like those are lyrics and like rhythms that I guess are like up for grabs for like artists, if I'm not mistaken. Because there was like a discussion about like, oh, who's gonna do the Happy song? Is it gonna be Pharrell? Is it gonna be CeeLo? Like, so I think in that regard, there are definitely some like ghostwriters out there that artists pick up. But there are artists and there are bands. Like I want to throw out a mainstream artists like Linkin Park. Their first two albums, like Hybrid Theory and Meteora. I wish I could pull out lyrics off the top of my head. But this other band I'm listening to, you guys probably won't know them. They're called Memphis Mayfire, and some of the lyrics, well, this one thing is called like one of the titles is called "Alive in the Lights," and he pretty much states that like the average, sitting down in your office for 9 to 5. Is extremely not for him, and he lets everyone know, what's going to be written on your tombstone. Are you going to be known as that person that gave up on their dreams and lost all hope? Or are you going to be that person that like went out there and did their thing? And in his song, he was like, "Do you not see all the people that I've saved with my music?" And I don't want to. It doesn't sound. I don't think it's arrogant. I think it's just like a knowledge of like, this is what people have told me. Like, they're telling me I'm doing something right here. They're telling me that I've changed their life in one way or another. What lives are you changing beyond like your immediate friend base and beyond your family? Whose lives are you influencing and whose lives are you saving with your words when all you do is your 9 to 5 and then go to the bar, and that's about the extent of your reach?
No.
So with the music, obviously with anybody's music, how many times have you listened to a song like, damn, I fucking relate to that? Or you know what? Everything's going to be right because this is going to make me feel better. I'm like listening to music. Even at work. When you're listening to music at work, George can relate, I can relate. I'm listening to work, and you know what? Me sitting here for my 8 hours, it's not that bad. At least I can do this. Some people can't do this. And the music that I'm playing in my head, this shit that I'm feeding in my head, is going to get me through this day. So, like, even at that simple of a level, I don't want to say it saved my life. Well, music has saved my life. But, like just sitting down at work and listening to music, it saved me from, I don't want to say going insane, but from just feeling like, damn, I'm like a cog in the machine. And I do feel like I'm the cog in the machine. But, hell, it's a lot better to listen to music than it is to just do it without any kind of without anything at all. And just, like, sailing within my thoughts. So, like, there are definitely a ton of artists, though. Like, there's a bunch of mainstream artists that don't mean what they say. They're picking it up from whoever's writing the script. But then there's artists that truly mean what they feel. And, like, if you ever listen to Linkin Park's A Place for My Head, or, no, excuse me. Well, A Place for My Head's also really good. He talks about, like, people just doing favors for you, but, you don't ask for it. But then it's like, oh, like now they're asking for a favor back, even though you never asked for that favor in the first place. But then like there's Paper Cut where he talks about different heads telling him different shit, and I'm sure we've had like, I got a face that holds inside, face that awakes when I close my eyes, face that watches every time they lie, face that laughs every time they fall. Which I'm pretty sure we've all had that person that we laugh whenever they lie in our fucking heads, and every time you see somebody fall, you're fucking like, you're amused by it because you want them to fall. I mean, there's just so many relatable things to that, and it's beyond like, I found a girl and she broke my heart. Like, it's beyond that. There's just like, there's deep meaning behind these lyrics. I mean, and I'm dragging this out a lot longer, but I'm just saying there's a lot out there that truly is authentic, and
you just gotta find it.
And well, it's beyond finding it. I think it's openly out there. You can find it just like some of your favorite songs. Like, you telling me a Drake song is ain't real? I'm kidding.
No,
I don't know shit about Drake.
Before anything, I actually kind of just wanted to add to that a little bit. I actually agree with what you're saying. I guess the reason that I asked that question was because, during our job, I have been granted the liberty to be able to utilize my headphones. So sometimes I listen to songs, but sometimes I listen to just like educational talks or podcasts and whatnot. And I guess something I've noticed like a pattern through everything, because it's like I said earlier, you kind of start, if you take a little bit of everything and you start to listen to what sounds the same in each piece of content that you're listening to, you find it like central truth. And that's sort of where the middle ground is. And when it comes to music, or when it comes to a horoscope, or just something that I guess you feel you really well resonate to, there are times where I've noticed that a lot of it has to do with the fact that these things are catered not to a specific demographic, but to the human condition. You know, it's like, what is it that we like to hear? What is it that we like to see? What is it that we like to taste or smell? And when you put these things into words, or when you put them in music, because music naturally moves our bodies, you know, it's like when you go outside in the morning and you have the sun hit you, you rise, you're like a plant, you know, you're getting those rays that you need to get on with your day. But essentially when I hear music, or when I'm listening to a horoscope, there are times where I'm wondering, damn, do I really relate with this? Or is this really happening just because they figured out the way our brains work, and because of that, we're being fed a certain degree of information?
Well, I mean, like, to interject, one of my favorite albums of all time that I listened to that really helped me cope really well was Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon from 1972. The album, what was so amazing about it was that Sid Barnett, the original founder of Pink Floyd, had a mental breakdown, and then during this mental breakdown, he lost his mind. I mean, like, he was not here, bro. There's a part of the song that I really like, hits me out, and this for the song Dark Side of the Moon. I forgot which track it was, but it's the lyrics, and it says like, basically he was really something, but it says like big black holes in the sky. Like, he basically, when he lost his mind, when they look at his face, he had this 1,000-yard stare. So to summarize, the expression was like, they're like big black holes in the eyes. And the thing is, when someone has like a severe mental breakdown like he did, you know, it's rough to see your band front man go to that state, you know. So they honored him, and that whole album was basically discussing like what mental issues are and the concept of everything in life that we question, and they dive deep. You got the song Money, you got the song bro, they got 1 million tracks, bro. And the thing is, all their names and titles, like Time was my favorite tracks on the album. And it talks about basically like, when you're a kid, you know, they always tell you got all the time in the world. It's part of the lyrics. It says, it's like, oh, like, you have all the time in the world. And then it says that all of a sudden you hit a point in your life where you have this like kind of like quarter life crisis, and you're like, oh shit, I don't have everything I need to have right now. I need to quickly catch up. And then it says like something, but you missed the starting gun. And it's like, that's how life is, you know. If you sit and wait and like, you know, you just ponder on things and just take things nonchalantly, you're gonna miss the opportunity passing you by. And the whole album is just talking about every single daily thing that we question in life, but really well broken down. The songs are amazing, man. Like, everyone needs to listen to the album. Like, that should be like a staple in high school. Like, you have to listen to Pink Floyd.
But what feeling do you get from that? You know, when you're listening to this music, I guess what I'm trying to say is, what does it do to you, like, on a psychological level? Do you feel like you're motivated to just progress with the rest of your day, or maybe something as simple as getting up from bed, you know?
For me, what it did, it was like there was a point in my life where I just was really down and out, and I was in this like rut of I'm grounded by reality. You know, I can't change my future because this or that or Trump is the president or whatever's going on. You know, and it's like I was letting the bigger things in life, the factors that were way upper than me, put me down. And people think like that in this country. You know, everyone cares about their sports team or their politics or the things that are not immediately to themselves in progression. It's just an external factor. And what I did was basically I said, that's bullshit. I need to refrain from this. And like Pink Floyd's album, what it makes me feel is that when you listen to these songs, you're questioning and you're always like being a philosopher and questioning the simple principles of life that we take for granted. Do you really think about time, honestly, and ask yourself why time is the way it is, or why we have time in general? Why do we need to have time? We could eliminate that and just live our life,
I don't. I actually, when it comes to time specifically, I guess since I'm older than you guys, I don't think of time as why time exists. What I think of is how fleeting it is and how quickly it goes versus 10 years ago when I felt like a day couldn't go by quickly enough. Now it's just a simple sequence of numbers, and I'm here for one period of my life, then I'm here for another, and then I go to sleep and I do it all over again. So for somebody like me, I guess time is it's simply fleeting, but yeah, go on. I just wanted to throw that in there real quick.
No, I agree. It provides organization in a chaotic world, and we need that. As humans, we have to have
Stephen Lee,
that.
thank you for joining. Sorry.
So what Pink Floyd did for me was that I went into this realm of like, I don't know, the album, when you listen to it for so long, it just throws you in this surreal place, bro. It's like, it's not even like being stoned. It's not. It's like you go into this place where like you listen to this song and you sit and think about it. Anybody would who has a common sense, and they would really sit and think about this song, and then you'll sit and you'll really think about these questions, and like you start really measuring your life perspectives and the values that they speak of, which is basically like the common like philosophical cores of what is to be human, and what basically essentially it is, wrapping it up, is that someone like Sid Barnett, who had all the talent in the world, he lost his mind and he died alone, and it was because he was like Icarus. He was reaching too high for the stars, and they talk about them in the songs, like you went for the stars and like you reached the reaching sun, but it burned you brightly, and then you lost your vision, and the sun basically burned his eyesight, and like he lost his mind,
Wasn't it? I thought what happened was that he his wings melted because he got too close to the sun.
The original story of Icarus is a Greek mythology, which is basically Icarus and his father. Forgot his name, but he's a famous person too in Greek mythology. He was a famous designer for military men at the time. His father, they were trapped in the tower, and they were held prisoner of war. They needed to escape, and there was no way out, but they had candle waxes that they leave in the dungeon. So the father, who's engineer, says, hey, if I get enough like twigs that we have up in here and like enough hay, and I melt the candle wax, we can make wings and we can like glide the fuck out of here. And he's just like, all right. He says, but I only tell you one thing, Icarus. I know how you are, you get over cocky, and like I know you know how to like navigate this shit, and you think you're hot shit with like the modeling of the flight, but don't fly too high to the sun. Remember your boundaries. He says Zeus is the mightiest person, and he also said that basically Apollo holds the sky and reigns higher than anything. Don't test that. Icarus, being the dumbass he was, being young, flew way up there and then melted the wings, the wax. So the feathers came off, and he crashed into the sun, not knowing how to, not the sun, crashed into the ocean, and not knowing how to swim, he drowned. And his father had to bury him. And there's an island actually located near Greece called Icarus Island, where they buried him, apparently. That's where the mythology lies. So that's the story of that. And basically, Sir Bernard had the same kind of thing. He was reaching out with Pink Floyd in a new experimental way, but it cost him his mind because he used so much like psychedelic substance like LSD consistently. LSD is a super psycho substance, These are traumatic experiences you brace yourself for that shatter your ego and change your character and who you are. It changes your mind, your state of mind. Like you go from being a regular worker 9 to 5, and you do that enough, and you say, wait a minute, what the fuck? I'm better than this, and it just throws you in a different mindset. And Sid Barnett did that for like 10 days straight. Like hours, just LSD for 10 days straight, and it shattered his mind. But his music production was amazing.
If I can add really quick, as you were saying, like, you do like LSD or whatever, and you're like, yo, what the fuck am I doing here? I'm better than this. And also to refer to your time fleeting comment, how much of that time is it that you worked 8 hours a day and it wasn't dedicated to whatever you wanted to go after? Because, like, the way I see it, it's like time flew because half of that, or rather most of that time, because the other, like, or because a quarter of it a third of it you're sleeping, a third of it you're working, and then the other third is, or really, like, a little more than the third because you have to prepare to work and whatnot. You have to, iron your clothes and whatnot. But then, you get like 4 or 5 hours to yourself. How much of that time is like legit just like, oh, I'm working for somebody else? And is that why it's fleeting? Because you're doing the same thing over and over again? Because that's how I felt. I was like, holy shit, I just realized I'm about to be working at this place that I'm working for about 4 years. And that time flew. And the only reason why I feel like it flew is because I worked for 5 days a week. And I'm just like, wow, that's why it flew. Like, I went from 22, and I'm about to turn 20, excuse me. Yeah, 22. I went from 22, I'm about to be 26, and I'm like, time flew because the time that I used was literally just to sleep, some of it to do what I'm trying to do, and then 8 hours of it is just like, wow, I'm doing a dedicated task, and this is my life. And maybe that's why it feels like it's going way too fast. Because it's felt fast. It's felt fast as soon as I started working at this job that I'm working right now. Which, no one get it wrong. I like doing the job. Like, if I had to pick a job, with the credentials that I have, which is just straight up high school diploma, I didn't go to like college or whatever. But if I had to get a job, I provided nice pay, nice benefits or whatever. Excuse me, remove the nice pay. It's not nice pay. It's better than retail pay. Because nice pay, you make 6 figures. If I had to pick something, it'd be this. But the reason why time's fleeting is because I'm too busy with something I don't want to do. I feel like for musical artists, maybe, that are like doing what they want to do and living life by their terms, I bet every single hour of that day, they feel fulfilled. And it feels full. It doesn't feel like you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. I'm done.
I mean, like, to answer that question, coming from my experience, like, I was working in retail and I have knee problems in both my knees. So I can't stand for very too long, but I had to put up with this because I was in college. But, it was time, it was like I would work 5 days a week, bro, and like I wouldn't even have the weekends off sometimes. I wouldn't have a Tuesday every now and then, and maybe a Wednesday if I was lucky, right? And the weekends were always locked at work, and I would stand there for like 8 hours and hours a day. I would leave work, and it was kind of like, what have I done? I just made a paycheck. That means I failed the day. Getting a paycheck doesn't mean I got money and I'm good. That is bullshit. That's chump change. That's quarters being thrown at me for me just sacrificing time. Honestly,
it's crazy that
what it is, and especially for our generation, our time. Like, if it was something that I could afford rent with, all right, by all means, you know what I mean. But that's nothing. It's like they're throwing money at your face, and smack you with it. And you're like, oh, thank you, sir, and you pick it up. That's rude.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're making $2K working for someone else, that's garbage.
Exactly.
Move on.
And the
$3K, garbage. Move on.
And
$4K. Garbage, move on. I think at $5K a month, and you start to feel a little bit better. I think, as they say, like when you start earning like around 72,000, I believe, that's where like you can't really get any happier, or rather, you can get a bit happier, but it doesn't really change much.
Well, I mean, I agree, but I don't at the same
garbage.
time. No, 2K is definitely garbage. I kind of agree, and I don't at the same time, and I guess I say that in the sense that, based off of the amount that you're making, you could be making 100 million a year, or 100,000 a year rather, because that's more realistic.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be around there.
Yeah, like you could be making that, but if you're not passionate about what you're doing, at the end of the day, it's not going to necessarily bring you happiness, especially if you're putting like a lot of work into that one thing specifically. So that's why I think when time fleets for me, I guess the reason I say that specifically for me, one reason, like you said, with it, is because I'm doing something that I don't want to do, but at the same time, I guess as just an older male, time physically, like I can feel the 24 hours in the day, whether I'm achieving everything I want in those minutes, or whether I just hate what I'm doing. Either way, it's just fleeting, and that's okay, because eventually I'm gonna figure it out, or I'm not. Like, only time's gonna really, time again is only time is gonna tell. But yeah, definitely as far as like the money comment, I believe that you can be making 100, 200,000 a year, and you know there are some people that make significantly less, but if they're really happy about what they're doing, they're happy, you know, and they feel fulfilled. I personally don't. I don't make bad money. I don't make good money either. I make money to live, you can say. And what I'm doing right now with this podcast and speaking with you gentlemen here, I think it's very important that anybody watching out there or anybody that's going to be listening later when it's uploaded on other social media platforms, it's just to, I guess, take a chance, especially while you're young. So that's where I feel like it works for you guys specifically. Just take a chance and do whatever it is that you want to do, because if you don't, you're gonna miss out on great opportunities. And remember, school can be great. If you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a scientist, whatever the case may be, school, you can get a lot from school. But if you're in school for like 7 to 8 years and you know all you're gonna do is work in retail afterwards, you know, again, I feel like school teaches people how to be drones. They're workers. You know, they don't teach people how to succeed. They don't give you a class in the 7th grade about credit and teaching you how to manage your credit when you get older. You know, that's something that life teaches you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I'm a little long-winded. I'm sorry. I guess I just wanted to get that out there for you guys.
What I wanted to say, I'm sorry for cutting you off. I do want to say this with the preface that I am complaining about work, and obviously what I'm saying is like, oh shit, well, if you're fucking complaining, then why aren't you doing it? Which is true. You know, I'm like, you know, where I'm at today is because of the actions that I take. So, you can freely call me a hypocrite, freely call me a pussy, whatever you need to call me. Because at the end of the day, if I'm not chasing what I'm doing, if I'm not doing what I'm saying I'm doing, obviously I'm a fucking hypocrite. Oh, well, if you're so concerned about like what you're doing, why don't you quit your job? And you know, obviously I'm trying to sustain myself, and I don't have the anchor of kids and looking like a fool if I'm too old and I'm like homeless, whatever. I don't have that kind of anchor on me. So I should do it, but I don't, because I'm complacent with where I'm at, and I'm a dickhead. I'm an asshole. I suggest people to call me all these things, like call me out and tell me these things. But I guess like if I'm talking to myself in the mirror, that's something that I want to tell myself in the mirror. It's like, you know, like if you're gonna make 2K, which is chump change, do it on your own terms, because it's perfectly feasible to do that. Is what I was trying to say, because it's not money that obviously it's whatever you do for the money is like what's gonna, or rather whatever you're gonna do that's gonna sustain your existence. So let's not say money. Whatever's gonna sustain your existence, whatever's gonna provide food on the table and provide any kind of like experience, as long as it's not by someone else's hand that you're, you know, that you're doing it, like you're doing work for them. And so that's the reason why you're living. If you're doing it on your own terms, I guess that's when it's fine to barely make it. Like if I was making 2K a month off of show streaming, I would be perfectly fine with that. Also because I feel like I can do something with that to grow bigger. But again, I'm a fucking hypocrite. I acknowledge that. I'm a dickhead. I'm an asshole. I'm about every other word that you can use to describe a terrible human being. And that goes, yeah, like, I don't know. At least I would call myself that because I'm not tracing my shit.
Well, I wouldn't call you that. I believe that you're allowed to have an opinion, you know? Like, you can say these things. Like, all of us, Kevin, Widded, me,
Well, you
Neo.
can say these things, but it's like, at what point do you talk the talk, but you don't walk the walk? You know what I mean? Like, if I'm saying, yo, don't sell for fucking chump change at 2K, but I'm doing the same exact thing, and I've been doing that for 4 years, how much of a fucking hypocrite do I look like? You know what I mean?
Well, no, I get that. I totally... Go ahead, Kevin. You seem like you have something to say.
Okay,
I'm a dickhead.
So
Just saying.
He's a dick.
What happened was, for me, working with Lord and Taylor, I was making pretty good money, you know. Not amazing. I was still in college, you know, but it was more than enough for a college student. So I was working, getting involved, you know, making money here and there. But I noticed that when I took a step back, there was no progression in my life. You see, the thing about life that people don't understand nowadays, people like to live it. I never look life in riches. I look in value, you know. I mean, there's people who never had a nickel in their pocket, bro, but they've seen the most beautiful things in the planet, bro. Like, the most amazing things that you will never probably see. You probably die never seeing, witnessing right now. Because you're so caught up working, you know. And I was afraid that I was going to end up doing that in life. My biggest fear in life was not getting a good job that pays me. that was the last thing in my mind. I don't care what I was doing. I want to make sure I was doing something that was like entertaining and I was interested, and like I would have experiences I could talk about and like tell all these amazing adventures. You know. And that was the reason why, like, when I saw that I was in a rut in Lord and Taylor, my knees were destroyed, and I still have problems to this day. They were wrecked, and I said, I can't do this no more. If I can't walk in the store and function is killing me, I have to leave, you know?
Shout out to Mom sheltering him.
Yeah, seriously. You know what? And that kind of sucks, dude, because you're so young and your knees are already shot.
They're decrepit.
You know, I have one bad knee that happened back in 2013. I was just like walking down the stairs. I wasn't even doing anything.
I know, that's how it starts.
Yeah, and you know, I guess it's one of those things where like, I guess your body is physically telling you, you know, like,
Oh, man.
I'm a little beat up. Why don't you help me out here, bro? You
Give
know,
me a brace or some shit.
yeah, I was actually fortunate that happened to me during a Friday because I had like Saturday and Sunday to kind of figure it out before I went back. I had just started this job and I didn't want to get fired, you know, because it was a temp deal back in the day. Like, you know, you had to earn your permanency. As
Let me ask you a question. How was your first incident with a bad knee? How do you get like a shell shock of like being old? Like, oh shit.
You know what? To be honest with
That
you,
was
Kevin,
me.
it wasn't even a factor of being old. I guess the initial feeling, I was literally walking down the stairs and I felt a crack in my knee and it didn't feel good. What I did try to do first was I tried to walk it off. I was like, okay, let me take a step or two and, you know, maybe I'll be all right.
Fuck that.
But you know what? It didn't get better. It got worse. And as I was walking, I literally had to walk with a limp in order for it to feel, you know, okay. And I didn't feel my age. I kind of felt disappointed.
I know.
I felt like my body is failing me. I'm finally like, I got this really cool job and, you know, I'm really enjoying it a lot. Now I might not be able to keep it because
Physically.
my body is failing me.
And like, you know, that's why athletes like, again, Derrick Rose and like other great ones, you know, it's such a sad thing to see with so much talent and they could do it, you know, it's just their body. Mentally they could do it. I could do it. I could fly to that basket. I know I can. But physically it's like, oh no, you can't, you know, your body just gave out and you're limited, you know, and like it just chops your skill set, not because you're not skilled enough, it's just you're physically limited now, unfortunately. You're handicapped, you know what I mean?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say handicapped. I
Not
would say
handicapped,
limited.
Limited.
Yeah.
And I mean, for like athletes, it's like handicap. If you have 2 ACL injuries in your knees, you're handicapped. There's no way you're gonna tell me that, oh, I could play basketball. No, you're like, I have to watch out, you know? And like that's considered handicap. Not for us. No, we just got bad knees, you know? But when you have 2 broken ACL injuries or any ACL injuries or like fractured foot and stuff, and you gotta go out there with limited minutes, yeah, you're not 100% in basketball. You know what I mean? You're like the reserve, just doing work.
Well,
know?
I'm a strong believer in your body being able to heal itself. You know, and one thing that I told myself when my knee got bad, I had to get an MRI for it, and I ended up going to physical therapy for I think I went for about a month before I actually stopped going. And when my knee improved, as it started getting better, I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna get back on board. And you know, fast forward a few years later, I did a Spartan race, and something that I never thought even before my knee got bad that I'd ever accomplish. And I did it, and even though it was probably the most physically taxing thing I ever did in my entire life. Not mentally, physically, but mentally it did take a strain as well, because now you got to tell yourself, are you gonna fucking quit because this is hard, or are you gonna finish? You know, and luckily I had my boy David. He was with me, and we did the race together, so we kind of spirited each other on. And it was raining, so that added more to the obstacles that we had accomplished. But I guess the point of that, what I'm trying to say is that, you know, you're still young. You're 25, going on 26, and even though it sucks that your knees are shot already, like both of them, you said, right?
The thing is that the left knee is the first one that got shot. The ironic tragedy of all the places I work or walk to, there's ramps. It's crazy. I don't know how every job I had, there's a ramp I gotta go down. I don't know why. Every job I had is a big, and I mean like a steep ramp, not even like no, I mean like this shit's pretty much like Nitro, like a fucking Six Flag, vertically straight down. And the thing is, I have a habit where I used to lock my knees, and I still do sometimes, and I don't notice it. And I stand for hours like that, and when I go down ramps, I lock my knees. So I go down the ramps with my knees locked, and I shock absorb it.
Vengeful nature says it never heals 100%.
Nope, it never does. And believe me, I've been trying to heal it for such a long time. And like the doctor tells me the same bullshit when I go see him. He's like, oh, because I'm young, so he just chalks up, not even like second glancing it. And I'm like, listen, sir, like I know you're gonna tell me it's some bullshit, but it's not muscle. I believe the kneecap under that spot, the joint there, that fluid that's supposed to be there for some reason, like when I walk, it's like a nerve there, man, that pinch, and it hurts. It hurts like a motherfucker, bro. Like there's sometimes I have to like sit down and like rest a leg. I'm 25. Why am I going through this? Can you explain? And he's like, oh, it's just muscle tendonitis. Are you fucking serious, bro? And in the winter, my knees, they freeze up. Even my bones. At one point, like I have, like my family, we have a serious arthritis problem, conditioning. And my grandmother, before she passed away, God bless her soul, she had arthritis problems. And my mom was just having the effects of that happen to her. Now, that puts me in a state of panic because I'm an artist and I need my hands to work. But I might have to come to face the terms that eventually my hands are going to give out.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, if your DNA would say other, anything else, yeah.
And believe me, the DNA carries because they both have the same left hand problem situation, and I worry,
Yeah, no.
So like my knee's the first symptom of that, and when it happened to me, I was so confused because it was happening to me in high school. Like I would go down the steps, and then my knee would just give out. Like I would have no strength in my knee, I'd just like fall, and I had to hold the rail just to be safe. And I was like, what's going on? You
know what's funny about that? I actually think that to a certain extent, our bodies need that pain.
Yeah,
true. Because it's really interesting. Back in 2013, when I first hurt my knee, I started a documentary. Believe it or not, I started editing a documentary about. It was gonna be on some like I'm gonna film the doctor talking about my knee and if I need surgery or anything. And it was very simple. It was basic editing, but it was cool the fact that because I was physically not able to move properly, I started doing something different. But as I went to therapy and my knee got better, suddenly my resolve wavered when it came to that, and I kind of feel like that's kind of like a constant reminder. So you having your knees hurt right now, you don't want to go back to that. You want to ascend past that. So I think that pain that you have in your knees, that's spiriting you on, it's making you go forward.
And what's so hilarious is that I was just like, I got to the point where I wanted this so badly. I was like, fuck it. If I can't walk, I don't give a fuck. I'll be in a wheelchair and just be flying helicopters. So I was like, I'll give up my legs. And they're shot. Like, at this point, I could just either like physical therapy, like you said, and get it back in shape. But there's time for that. I said, I don't want to distract my focus. Pain is temporary. Pride is forever. Great quote by JFK. And I always took that to heart because pain is growing pains. They're temporary. And you got to power through it, and I was in a predicament where I had to tolerate the pain. I had no choice, and I had people depending on me. So I had to be there, accepting that, but understanding that there was opportunities underlining my life that I needed outreach. Yeah, so I got the photo studio job by doing that.
Definitely. Vengeful Nature, before you say anything else, Vengeful Nature says some doctors don't care about the individual and give you textbook answers. You had to find one who still gives a shit about their practice.
I know. It's true. Because the doctor, he just chalked it up and gave me ibuprofen. I'm like, you don't need to give me ibuprofen. It's not some fucking like, muscle inflammation, which it does happen every now and then when it gets really bad. But I'm like, it's beyond that, and you need to know what's going on in my body if I understand. I already explained it to you. And I don't know, man. I don't know what it is, honestly. Like, they always tell me the same bullshit. Some bullshit, you know what I mean? And that's our medical system in this country, People just glance at it, and then when it gets really bad is when they know, okay, now we got to break out the operation, you know what I mean? And then after that point, you got to bring your insurance plan. It's like, we might have to put the surgery off for another month or two because we got to get approval.
You ever think they just, like, prescribe you some pills?
Yeah.
Like, no.
That's all they do.
Placebos?
Well, I was going to say, because y'all talking about some grim shit. Y'all ever thought about like just grinding up your ibuprofen, just throwing it in like a fucking milkshake, like legit? Why not, bro? You just grind the shit. Just you get like 4 of them. What if you get like a Xan? Which I never take Xannies. But like, what if you get like a Xan and you just like, yo, I'm gonna fuck them. Like, why take it as a pill? Just blend that shit in the fucking milk. Like, why are we not getting fun with our medicine?
You know what? That's actually not true. I've done that with multivitamins.
Multivitamins.
You know the multi-man brolic ass vitamins that are like horse pills. I had to blend them into my shakes because I felt like I was gonna choke on myself here. I thought I was gonna die. I'm like,
bro, that shit is legit. No, I'm just saying, like, we need to start doing that, bro. I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna get that fucking NyQuil whenever I'm feeling like sick and I want to go to sleep. On some fake lean shit. Like,
take shots of
which you don't want to do. Which you don't want to do that. NyQuil has whatever the fucking ingredient is that like is really bad if you overdose on it. It's like something acetaminophen or whatever.
That.
But like, well, I know, but like, but I'm just saying, like, why are we not getting creative? The shit's grape flavored, so why are we not putting vanilla ice cream as like practically a base canvas? Put some fucking NyQuil on it. You're telling me after that milkshake you would have knocked the fuck out? Because first of all, when you have a fucking milkshake, you telling me you're not gonna knock out immediately after you got that fucking heavy ass milkshake?
Oh yeah, of course.
And you got the. I was about to say lean. You got the fucking NyQuil. Fucking hey, bro. I'm just saying.
What it is actually talking about crushing pills and putting it in your milkshakes to make you feel better.
Oh well, to further in detail what he described, basically he just said that he's going to take ice cream, and NyQuil, right? NyQuil and pour it onto the ice cream, which I'm assuming is Berlin most likely, because it's probably going to be this, right? And he's going to grind Xanax pills, or just probably put it as a cherry on top, honestly.
Just one Xan.
Yeah, it's a cherry on top. Why not? You know, on that, and then like stir it up, and then he's going to make a 21 Savage Sundae, basically.
Will it blend? Let's find out.
Gosh, bro. It's a 21 Savage Sundae.
A 21 Savage Sundae.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying we
21
need to
Savage
create
Sundae.
creative with our medicine.
Purple lean and everything.
Legit, get creative with your medicine, bro. I'm just saying. Like, I'm gonna do that next time. I'm fucking sick and I want to go to sleep. I swear to God, I'm going to the grocery store. I'm getting the Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah.
Yeah, amigo. ¿Qué tú quieres? Like, oh, I don't know what I'm saying. You get the vanilla ice cream.
You try to talk Spanish, it didn't work.
Get the maple syrup because you already know, and you bzzz, and then like. Just drink it. Like, I bet you money. If someone try that, I'm trying that. I'm putting.
Trying that.
I'm. You think I'm not lying? I'm dead ass. Like, I'm gonna try it with the fucking NyQuil. I'm putting it in. But, I'm saying.
Well, you could just take a shot of it. Like if you're at a bar and you're just taking a shot of whiskey, because Vengeful Nature actually said the NyQuil sleep aid that I use, Neo, and I know exactly what he's talking about. He's referring to the fact that whenever he has difficulty sleeping, he pops open that fridge, right? And he takes a little cup of NyQuil, a little shot worth. He takes a little sip, goes to sleep. He turns around and smiles as he's closing the door. And suddenly, it's fucking Sandman time.
Yeah, we're like Vengeful Nature. If you really want to go to sleep, crack open a Tide Pod.
Oh my God. You want him to sleep, you don't want him to die.
You really want to go to sleep. Have a little snack.
You know
It's
what?
supposed to clean your insides.
Let's get on that subject for a second. I kind of want to unpackage this a little bit. These people that are fucking doing these forget about Tide Pods specifically. I'm talking about challenges in general. There's a lot of challenges that are not logical. They freaking lag cognitive dissonance. They're just one of those things where you start doing and you're gonna injure yourself for it. There was some chick that like drank bleach. She didn't drink bleach. She tried to put it in her mouth. Like the challenge was to hold bleach in your mouth. And she ended up swallowing a little bit of it. And she started freaking out online. And then you got all these people that are generally doing challenge. Like, all right, the ice challenge was one thing, right? That wasn't that bad. Pour a bucket of ice on you, or you get in a bathtub of ice.
That was like supposed to represent how you felt with whatever this.
Yeah, no, there was a condition for it. Yeah,
it's supposed to represent how you felt if you had that condition.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like stuff like that is fine, but when you're doing things like squeezing fucking Tide Pies in your mouth, and you can get sick and poisoned and potentially die. I kind of think it's one of those things where at what point where does logic take place in your head? Because the problem with hold on, I'm sorry. The problem with human beings, this is the biggest error, one of the biggest errors I feel that we have. We are logical creatures by nature, but we lack the ability to properly use our logic. So because of that, we end up doing a lot of dumb shit. And these are one of those things. So go on, guys. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I think that's mostly like kids that were afflicted by that. If I'm not mistaken, and then there's like some person that's like 28 or something thinking they're like the meme lord of the century. So I think with kids, I think it's more so like something like, as a parent, man, do better. Tell these kids not to fucking go around on Twitter eating Tide Pods. They look like ring pops or something. I like the memes though. I'm sorry, there's some memes that are hilarious. My boy Steve Massey, he like posted up a video. He was like, my boy got that Tide on tap. He had the fucking Tide with the little switch, the little lever that you like kind of like a water fountain. It's like a little Tide with like a little like thing that you press and Tide comes out.
Yeah.
So he had the Tide on tap. He was like, hey. No. Yeah, like there's just funny challenges. Tide Pod challenge. If you're stupid enough to ingest a Tide Pod, or if your parents failed you, I'm sorry. But yeah, like these stupid. I think the cinnamon challenge was like another one that was like a potentially like
fatal one. Yes.
potentially fatal.
Vengeful Nature says Darwinism at its finest.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was gonna. That's exactly what I was gonna get to. If anybody's seen the film Idiocracy by Mike Judge, basically the premise, because believe me, bro, I took an IQ test a while back and I scored 122 on the smartness.
That's not bad.
That's a superior intellect, right?
That's not superior intellect.
No, I'm not lying.
That's above average, but that's not superior intellect.
It's like
You're spreading misinformation.
It's like in the realm of that almost.
Okay.
It's around that area. I don't remember. It was something around
So what
there.
you're saying is that you're smart as fuck.
No, I'm not smart as
Sorry,
fuck.
you're a 12th level intellect?
No, but that's the thing. People,
Okay.
Got a
people don't.
7 cents.
People don't understand what intellect is. People think just knowing everything is being smart.
No, that's
Intellect.
completely not.
Yeah, exactly. An IQ test, when you take it, it tests everything. The way you look at things is a test of logic. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it's blue, is it blue? Yes. You know, like it's like that, but just more like just worded more
But
wordy.
is it blue?
Yeah, think about
Yeah,
that.
or they
What
make
if you're
exactly,
colorblind?
and they tell
I'm
you
color
that.
deficient.
So they question your
might be
your
green.
critical thinking at a really high point, and it
Mm-hmm.
sees like how different your thoughts are and perspectives.
Would
know?
you eat a blue strawberry?
I don't know. Nah, I gotta check it out.
If it was a blue strawberry, I'd probably think that it was rotten.
Yeah, I wouldn't get near that. As animals,
For $100.
no, you wouldn't eat it. You know why? Because
Why not?
monkeys and primates, as evolution states by Darwinism, they said that if the way tribes and these groups survive, these animals, if one monkey was an idiot and ate a fucking mushroom that killed him and died of poison, and another one did it, they're like, okay, it's common sense to be like, oh, that's bad
Hold on.
mushroom, you know?
Yo, I'm about to destroy you. Pause.
Why?
Like, if I, what if you're the monkey that ate that mushroom but you lived, and then all of a sudden you kept eating those mushrooms, and your tolerance to the poison got better and better, and then you pass it to your kid. Ah, you made the fucking monkey that's immune to the poison
No.
mushroom.
Well, first of all, we're not in the logic of Marvel Comics, the X-Men, where niggas just
Well, hold
like,
on. That has nothing to do with logic from Marvel Comics. I believe there are people that do have, like, certain people that have
No.
immunities to certain things. So
I totally understand
you
that,
could have
but-
had that one dude that ate like 10, 15 different mushrooms and somehow evolved an immunity
The
to
dude
it.
that ate raw, well, I don't know if he was just born with something that like resisted whatever it is that you catch when you eat raw meat, but there was a dude that like literally eats raw meat.
I know.
Like it's.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
This man's a bear.
And
He's gonna get sick though.
And the thing about evolution, what makes it something that is probable, you know, or maybe just obviously it is probably at this point in the century we're in. But either way, the reason why it seems so like a while for evolution to take place is because evolution doesn't happen in a matter of years. It takes thousands of years, bro. We're talking like 6,000, you know, or anything plus, you know. So that is basically, and the thing is, evolution is always happening. It's constantly happening. My son that I will have down the line, he will be more like genetically advanced because it's a new generation, a new time zone, you know, and we're always progressing. They're saying that in the next maybe 100 years or so, we're not going to have no pinkies and no tailbone. Like, that's gone completely. And we're going to keep changing and developing ourselves. That's what evolution does.
Vengeful Nature says there are people that are immune to the Black Plague.
Okay, yeah, there you
Are
go.
you immune to the Black Plague? Vengeful Nature.
Vengeful Nature is not immune to anything.
He's not immune to anything. He's definitely not immune to the allure of a Big Mac.
Wow, it's not cool, bro.
Yo, he went ham taro on you, son.
That's not cool, man. You low blows.
Yo, I appreciate the KFC you brought, bro.
You know Rachel's gonna end up paying later for that, right? Bagels, Rachel, Rabels.
No,
it's gonna
just do the fucking voice of Batman. Just say Rachel.
Rachel. The people of Gotham.
I will always call your cat like that, Rachel. Like, every time. Fuck this shit. I'll get the mask cow out too out here for that.
He says he's gonna eat your cat.
There you go.
Damn.
Oh, you know, there's a Chinese restaurant on the block actually. You know, they're looking for a new cat.
Well, you know what? Honestly, like, I don't mean to sound messed up or anything like that. I don't want to put any stereotypes, and I had no way, shape, or form want to offend anyone. But I did know this young lady who was an Asian lady. She told me once upon a time to believe the hype. She says that stuff like that really does exist.
And you know what's so crazy, bro? Like, and the most funniest story, like, before I went to DR to travel, in my house all I ate was chicken and salmon, like every day, and like fish, right, and seafood. So that was like our diet, you know. My dad was a big seafood fanatic, you know, and that's all we really ate, and chicken. But I went to DR and like I met my cousin, and she had this like bunny rabbit, He's like, oh, it's my bunny rabbit, you know, like.
What's up, spicy noodle?
So like basically they had the bunny rabbit and we were hungry, but you know in DR things were tight. You know they didn't have that much money, so they were like, well, we have to eat something. What is it to eat? Guess what we ate? The fucking bunny rabbit. And
There's a rabbit?
Yeah, and it's when it hit me. I was like, whoa, people eat other things besides fish and chicken?
Not
Yo,
my mom, ancient Robert family story. My mom's Puerto Rican. My sister had a bunny rabbit, and then one day it disappeared while she was off to like Puerto Rico or something. And like she came back and she was like, "What happened to my rabbit?" And my mom apparently said that the rabbit ran away, but the rabbit was actually served in like a stew or something while she was away.
So that was more dignified then.
Some fucked up shit. You ever? If I come back, where'd my cat go? She ran away, and I find out it was served for chicken. I'm going to go full like fucking Batocide to manslayer. Yeah, fucking murder everybody. Like as soon as I find out.
Nah, I hear you actually. Spicy Noodle says that Korea and China eat dogs and cats because they are wild over there, but only in the poor parts. You know what? It's kind of crazy because there was this one time where I went to Brooklyn. It was by like 8th Avenue, right? And I was visiting somebody there. And I wanted, some food. I was hungry. Mm-hmm. So there was like a food vendor outside. And he was selling hot dogs on a stick and chicken on a stick, right? And I didn't even get like the bun for the hot dog. Mm-hmm. So this dude gives, mind you, this was like a predominantly like Asian part. So he gives me the chicken on a stick. And I took a bite out of it. When I took a bite out of it, you know the texture of the foods you eat, right? Yeah, like when you bite into a piece of chicken, like we've been eating it our whole lives. It's like ingrained in our memories. Like we know what chicken tastes like.
Yeah, we're Spanish, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So the taste of it had like a very like squishy, kind of wet, hot, mucusy kind of a texture to it. Uh-huh. Yeah, like when I bit into it. So I knew what I was eating was not chicken. And you know what? And I feel really bad for chickens because chickens are probably the most hated animals in this world because all they do is get eaten. Not only do we eat chickens, but we fucking deep fry them in their own offspring when we fucking batter them up in eggs and shit. And we're just like, hey, here you go. Chicken on top of chicken babies.
But you know what's so funny about the chicken? The most ironic thing is, guess what's the chicken's like original ancestor millions of years ago, 65 million years ago? It was the most apex predator on the planet. Nothing came close to stopping
T-Rex?
it. A T-Rex. That's like their million great grandfather.
Someone confirmed that?
Yeah,
really?
Confirmed. Yeah, DNA. Their feet is exactly how it was. Exactly.
Can somebody do a quick Google search and tell me if T-Rexes are the descendants of chickens? Mm-hmm. I would really like to know that.
They're distinct.
Jamie, can you look that up?
Because what happened is basically in evolution, when the meteor struck the planet, dinosaurs had to basically adapt quickly, so they sprouted feathers to fly up to the canopies of the trees and lie in safety. So it wasn't about being bigger anymore. It's about being compacted. It's like now in our days, no one likes big cars and gas guzzlers. We want small products, and it's about survival, And
oh shit, spicy noodle out here.
What happened?
Fearsome T-Rex evolved into chicken.
Exactly.
Yeah, Nightbot just hated on Spicy Noodle right now. Spicy Noodle tried to post the article, I suppose, but it was in 2007.
They confirmed, yeah.
Daily Mail, an article in Daily Mail that they talked about that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty interesting.
And
wow, I had no idea.
So imagine the top of the line apex predator becoming a fucking plate food. And you know what's so crazy? If anyone's seen the Twilight Zone To Serve Man, the episode where the Martians visit the planet and they're helping develop peace and bring prosperous land and stuff, and it's like the only thing we're going to tell you is that we're working on this book called To Serve Man. They managed to translate that, the Americans, but they don't know what the book is about because the texting is so hard to crack. So what happened is basically at the end of the story, basically, long story short, they help out mankind. Everyone's living in peace and prosperous. And they're like, okay, now we're taking tours to our planet for people to come and visit our planet and stay there for a while. So people start going there by the millions, bro. But then what they find out is the person who's trying to crack the code to figure out what the book is about, he's on board on the ship to go touring, for vacation.
Yeah.
And the secretary decodes the book. And she's like, oh, it says To Serve Man. It's not what you think. And he's like, what do you mean? It's like, it's a cookbook. It's like to serve chicken basically, but it's man instead, and their planet.
Wow.
So like, can you imagine being like, I'm here in society right now, me a millionaire, but like all of a sudden, in a blink of an eye, you're like a fucking chicken now, basically.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, you know, if you think of it like parallel Earths, for example, you know, like there's a reality where there's a chicken chopping us up right now.
Yeah.
Vengeful Nature said he would eat a dinosaur. He also said that that's karma.
Yep.
Mir confirmed basically about the research linking chickens to the closest genetic relatives. Dan, that's pretty interesting stuff. Apparently, according to Spicy Noodle, we also figured out a lot of dinosaurs had feathers too.
Yeah, they're birds.
And
Birds
that
are
was the
related
thing.
to dinosaurs
They
too.
were saying that the dinosaurs had like feathers. I read that.
The
Wow.
birds that you see, even pigeons, bro, they're directly distinct from like every bird you see flying out there. They're relatives of raptors or like T-Rexes or anything of that nature.
Or rather, like just like that, those dinosaurs in the
Yeah.
past had feathers. Like they were
and
out
like
here
even whales, bro. Whales were land
looking
mammals.
like fucking Aerodactyl
They had,
from
they had
Pokemon.
limbs and fur. Yeah. What it was
Aerodactyl.
is that these animals fled to new environments and they had to change and adapt. You know, that's all it is.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the process of evolution, I suppose. But that's actually pretty interesting because T-Rexes, I guess, you know, in their most like primitive form, they had like really tiny arms. They had big brolic legs, and then you know their primary weapon was their mouth and their size. Excuse me, their sheer size. They were able to just kind of stomp on you. But the fact that they would, I guess, de-evolve. I don't even know. That's probably not a word. But the fact that they would go reverse, I guess you can say, and get to the point where now they're just like mere food for us. You know, that's kind of freaking insane.
No,
It's like Vengeful Nature said of karma, man.
yo, it's crazy, man. A fucking chicken is.
I love chicken.
I love
Honestly.
chicken,
I
too.
fucking
Me
love
too.
chicken. What?
the best.
Chicken's
I'll eat a chicken out, yo. Like after it's cooked.
Damn, to think that the T-Rex
Oh,
was
word.
so.
You don't want to eat that shit.
The
bro.
T-Rex was a gluttonous animal, and now we're being gluttonous with it. Irony.
I'm sorry, I'm just reading the comments.
Yeah, I'm reading it. Apparently, so Antarctica is the world's biggest continent, and back in the day, it was also the most fertile. And I mean, I don't know shit about that, so Spicy Noodle is a little more informed than I am. Well, not a little, a lot more.
I need to get a glass of water. Excuse me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
what
No,
you
go
gotta
for
do.
it. Go for it. Definitely. Get some water. Get some liquids in your body so you could be well
As
hydrated.
silly as this sounds, and I can say this, I actually thought, I don't know if you guys know about like when Pokemon Snap came out, which was the game. For those that don't know, it's like this. It was like this game that you were like the photographer, and you were like on rails taking pictures of Pokemon, like different environments, and you got points based on which Pokemon you took a picture of, if you caught like the evolution of one, and so on. And I legit, I remember they had like a thing where it was like, oh, you can win a trip to Australia.
What?
Yeah, through like Blockbuster or something. I can't look it up, but it was a thing. They had something, and then I swear to God, as a kid, I thought there were actual Pokemon on fucking Australia. In Australia, mate, freaking! I thought there was like actual Pokemon, like that's where they lived back in like, because I was like fucking 6 or 7 or something like that.
You was about to go there and get yourself a Hitmonchan.
Yo, I was like, yo, where the Pokemon at? Like, I'm thinking it's like a real thing. I don't know why I brought that up. I guess that's because of the Antarctica stuff. Imagine if that was the thing way back when. It was fucking Pokemon, these motherfuckers. It was just like,
Well, I mean, if you really think about it, like as far as like the history of evolution is concerned and Darwinism and whatnot, there's a lot of Pokemon that their evolutionary forms kind of fit the mold
Of our.
basically like to their environments, you know, and like I think Matt Pat did like a game theory on that where he was basically talking about how all the different Pokemon, all their geographical locations in this planet, they're all there specifically for a reason, and that their evolutionary forms match up to what was happening. So I thought that was actually pretty interesting.
What's unbelievable about Pokemon is that the creator of Pokemon is a man who has autism. Yeah.
I can believe that.
He created the whole concept of Pokemon because he was fascinated to deal with his autism. He collected bugs because it made him peaceful and quiet, you know? And it was his hobby. And he said, why not make a show about a kid catching animals, you know, like in little things like jars, but instead like any animal could fit in a jar. And that little small idea from this kid who had autism blew up, and he couldn't produce it on his own, you know. So someone picked up on the idea who was well connected, and then put it out, and he took lead of it. But creativity is all to this guy. You know, the guy who's running the business is the face of Pokemon, but the real creator is the autistic guy. You know, but he's in the backdrop. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't really call the shots. He's just the one who founded the concept, you know? But he's well respected. And, you know, that's the thing. Like, you know, the thing about people who have autism is that you need to listen to them. You know, like, some people are dismissive of them because of their condition, and that's unfair. Because they might be so gifted in one area, bro, that's outstanding, and it puts them on the map, you know, immediately. And they're overlooked sometimes. One of my favorite films of all time is Rain Man, with Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise, and it's about this guy who's a loan shark and like a fucking con artist, and he finds out he has a brother he never knew about, and he's in a mental asylum because he has autism. They go to Vegas, and he knows how to count cards. He's a phenomenal magician, and he makes bank with this kid. And then it draws the line where it's like, do you want to be brothers with this guy, or you want to use him, you know? And the movie goes about that kind of relationship and discusses it. Awesome film, you know? Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just allowing Nightbot to let Vengeful Nature speak because I guess he says some shady shit. Let's see here real quick. Oh, wait a second. I'm sorry. I actually clicked off of this. He says, Pokemon is cruel. They catch animals and fight with them. Video game cockfight. Oh, it's probably because he said cock.
That's all good.
Yeah, no, that's all good. Spicy Noodle says the thing about autism is that they are socially impaired, but what they lack, they make up in different sections of the brain. Exactly. That is true. I kind of agree with that. Actually, like if you take away conditions of the human brain for a second, and you just think people, for example. Back in the day, before we diagnosed people with anything, you know, everyone was just who they were. We were all individuals. So, like, for instance, like, I'm horrible at certain subjects, but somebody with as what would be classified as a condition now could be great at those particular subjects because that's what their brain naturally gravitates towards. You know, I always say the same thing about kids that like a lot of young boys, you know, they want to feed them all this fucking Ritalin and all this like different medication for like ADD, and it's like I don't necessarily think that there's something wrong with them. Like, they're boys, they're supposed to be rambunctious, they're supposed to make noise. You know, if you're in school and you can't control them, you know, maybe they're just not learning in the same frequency that you are. You know, it doesn't mean that there's necessarily something wrong with them, because you can have children like that are highly intelligent. But it's like me, for example. I've always been a visual learner. I've always been able to grasp things once I see them versus me reading it or, you know, like trying to do a specific calculation. So there are just different people that learn in different ways. So when you think about like autism or whatever other condition, I just simply think we're all made differently. We're all made unique, and there's something special to all of us. Not special in the like, you know, kind of way. Just, you know, we simply are who we are. So.
I mean, like, that's the thing, you know. The beauty of life is that people are all individuals, you know. And the misconception that society causes upon us that makes us so different nowadays is that we never put ourselves in other people's shoes, you know what I mean? We're so quick to be dismissive and just disregard people's opinions. And that's why this country's so divided. It's not because Trump is the president. That's just a small factor in the problem. It goes further beyond that. These are basic problems that we never really got to the root of since since America was even founded, you know what I mean? And it's basic principles of like, we have society of like the most diverse people here, and that we need to incorporate and understand that everyone cares about their kids, everyone cares about living their life in comfort, you know? And that's what America's about, you know, an opportunity and taking hold of that opportunity, you know? You don't get a no here, you get an opportunity.
Yeah, no doubt. Nightframe 1986 says, "What about Little Windex?"
Yo, Little Windex cleaning up.
Yo, who the hell is Little Windex?
I've actually never heard this song. He must be a parody rapper, because I've seen it on my suggestions. Little Windex, because it's making fun of like all these fucking
all the little
rappers,
yeah.
Like more so like I think Lil Pump really is probably like the big, like, or rather the worst of the bunch, because all he does is repeat shit. That must be like he's probably bringing up that the Lil Windex. It must be a fucking parody shit. And he has a song called "Cleaning Up." I never fucking heard it, but it must be some funny shit. He probably got Windex in his hand, like cleaning up, fucking cleaning up the windows and whatnot.
Oh my god.
His name's Lil Windex. When he got bottles of Windex.
Night Flame says he has bars.
He's got bars. Yo, how about I flex a couple bars on the fucking podcast?
Oh, you want to do some bars real quick? Yo, we can fucking go. Let's do this.
We got bars. All right, who's ready for these bars?
All right, let's start with Widded. You throw out your bars, bro.
I'm gonna spit a quick 16 if I can make it that far. I'm on this podcast. My boy Kevin on the phone, looking like a goddess. If he was a woman, excuse me, he couldn't be a woman. My boy got ashy hands. Catching Pokemon like Ashy can. Yo, they call me Randy Orton, man. I'm out here. I could speak Spanish like a Mexican. Cause I Mexican talk to you in Spanish. I'm out here looking like a sandwich. When I spit bars, that shit is a classic. Out here, got lines going over you because you can't understand it. Sonic the Hedgehog, you know I'm always spinning. Every time I come onto the booth, I'm always spitting. Shit, you speaking jokes, but there's only crickets.
Oh. Why do I have a cricket sound effect
little
right
Windex.
now?
Yo, they speaking crickets. This real gang shit, you know I live it. And I'm feeling livid, cause you got me spitting bars. I'm out here about to fuck up your car, cause I'm spitting too hard. I'm out here about to fuck you up. I'm not no nerd, don't call me Lars, cause I'm out here spitting shit that's above you. I call that shit Mars. Cause I call that shit Mars cause I'm reaching for the stars. I mean, you're out here on your phone not paying attention to who the person you really gotta talk to. Honestly, what the fuck are you doing on your phone like you don't understand me? I'm the person you really need to talk to.
Oh, them bars.
That's all the bars I got for today, so I'll see you tomorrow.
Kevin, do you
And when I leave the car, don't forget to shut the car door. Yeah, I'm a whack rapper.
You're a singer, but do you have any bars? I could try to spit some bars. I can make an attempt if you guys like.
This nigga really not talking shit. I'm sorry, I'm about to violate. Jose.
He said, "Boo, you trash with it." He said, "All you spit is saliva. The only bar
Jose,
you spit
you're
is
really
chocolate."
Jose, you're really overweight. Every time it takes you a year to walk across the street, you say sorry for the wait. And you can take that two ways. Sorry for the wait for waiting, and then sorry for the wait. So understand your time and your place, before I put you in a fucking mental state. And I'm talking about Lil Delirious. Get the fuck out of here. Looking like a bitch. That's all. Are you serious? SpongeBob SquarePants type shit. I'm about to leave you underwater. Bro, honestly, to these fish, you just fodder.
Oh,
I'm gonna treat you Leviosa, Harry Potter. And I'm gonna fuck your bitch because I done caught her.
And if you have a daughter...
I'm gonna fuck that bitch and own her like I'm her father. I'm out. Oh.
God.
That was that took a dark turn really quickly. I definitely can't follow you up, but it's all good.
I'm done. Go ahead.
Oh, you're done? All right,
Yeah,
so...
definitely not going out there with this.
Well, I'm gonna try to, because it's my podcast, so I gotta represent, so I gotta spit something.
Okay.
Vengeful Nature says, "See if you spit like that, I would respect you more." Okay, so, all right, check it. I'm on this podcast recording 24/7. That's not really true, but it's all good because I'm wearing this blue.
Ooh.
At the same time, I'm wearing this red, but that color's not even really in my head.
Ooh.
Because when I'm looking at Kevin trying to talk on that mic, but he sounds too silent, kind of like a dyke.
Oh, kind of like a dyke.
My boy Widditsama up in this piece about to spit some shit in your face like a llama.
Like a llama.
And then you got my boy Vengeful Nature saying that he can't spit shit. But at the end of the day, he ain't even in level danger. Because his danger level is the same as Rachel. Or what do we call Rachel? I don't even remember, but it rhymes with bagel. And when Rachel gets up in this piece and she meows your ass, just recognize that at the end of the day, you never stood a chance. Oh, NeoStarling with the organic bars. When I fucking finish up in this piece, I'ma send you to Mars. Took that line straight from Widdit, but it's all good because I spit it. And when I'm done with this podcast and get rid of y'all, I'ma have a fresh batch of victims to spit at y'all. Oh, let's fucking go.
Maybe I should have a shot at this as well.
Oh,
That was
Kevin.
probably the... I'm
Kevin.
whack. Hold on. I'm whack, but that's the nicest shit I ever spit in my life. All right, go ahead, Kevin.
Okay. So let me see if I can. It's so stupid. I can't believe we're actually. No, let me see. Okay, let me think. Oh, God, this is, this is
Don't think. Just talk
it's not-
shit.
I know. This is a startup line.
All you have to do is talk shit, bro.
Okay, all right.
Just talk shit and try to make it like rhyme.
There was once people who were toxic like cancer. Who didn't really even have anything close to an answer. They spoke with passion, talking like a pastor. But I lost them like a blood bastard.
Ooh.
When disconnected from the truth and understanding, I separated my truth and deliberated my concept of planning. I decided to liberate and make a truth of something that astound to my beliefs and were nothing but conclusive theories of what I believe and what I stand for, distant thoughts of quasars and things that have no answer.
Oh.
As I stated before, I'm the man that moves through methods and flow. But I've dealt my life with a lot of heavy blows. And I keep increasing myself and being better. For the only thing that would ever take me from this planet is God's grace or death endeavors.
Oof.
But my legacy, if I do pass away, will stand out forever.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's it.
Yeah, somebody Google that. Did
Oh.
he take that from a
Yeah.
song? Like,
I think Kevin is trying to be a poet up in here right now, and I don't know how I feel about that.
I love Edgar Allan Poe, bro. He's the best poet of all time.
Okay, so were you just spitting at Edgar Allan Poe?
that was me.
Oh, okay, okay. I was about to say, that sounds like some shit he would have said.
that's
Locking people downstairs in the basement and whatnot. Oh, man, that was fucking crazy. Yeah,
That did the job?
I think you did all right.
I'm not gonna
Alright,
follow that
alright,
up. So
okay.
I think you did all right. Night Flame says, sitting on my console, dropping on medicine, sore tonsils, watching you rap, so gone so, and then Vengeful Nature says, "What it looks like something went up in his behind." LOL. Or lol. What up, Antonio Castro? Welcome back, son.
Dope.
Yo, Rachel.
So we got bars out here. That's great. It's great.
Yo, Rachel, where your bars at, yo? You gotta represent next. If you don't represent, I don't know what to tell
Hit
you.
him up. Hit him up. Hit him up. Hit him up.
Rachel ain't got nothing to say.
When I come through, I'ma fuck your boy. I use him, I put him on the side like a toy. I'm out here looking for Hector. Call me Troy.
I'm dodging problems and hits like Pretty Boy Floyd.
Like Pretty Boy, I'm dodging problems and hits like Pretty Boy Floyd. And you know I'm the first character that you pick. Call me Roy. Super Smash Brothers Melee. You already know this shit ain't a game, so this shit ain't a toy. This shit ain't a ploy. Talking about I run the crack service. Now who do you want to employ?
Your dress style is like Lucas and Ness, looking nothing more than a 3-year-old mess.
Ooh, looking more like a 3-year-old mess. I come through, I play you in mind games. I call that shit chess. And then I'm gonna punch you in your chest. And then I play Ocarina of Time, open up that chest.
And then settle it in a match of sudden death.
Sudden death, 300% damage. I'm about to send you away.
Hit you like a home run from David Wright. Send that character shining out like the starlight.
Oh, she's tight.
Oh, snap. You have Ganondorf smacking you down. Yeah. After that, Slippy said, do a barrel roll downtown. Oh.
Ooh. Downtown. And then I'm going to hit you Jigglypuff. We call that move a pound. And I go up to all my boys and I give them a pound. If you know what I mean, I give them a pound. Because we doing more than just handshakes. We dealing drugs. And honestly, I'm not dealing drugs just for the fun. I'm out here trying to make that money. And you out here fucking with me. I'm going to put you under the rug. So, in a life of pulling and tugging, I live that life of criminal. I'm out here always mugging. And your girl, she swallowed my dick. She always chugging. And your girl's still looking kind of fugly. I'm really trying to stretch with some words to try to rhyme with. And these girls, we're out of sync. We're out of mind with. And it goes for boys too. It doesn't matter who. Honestly, I got you looking like Dr. Seuss. You out here trying to make books. But honestly, you should just be hanging on a noose. And I'm out here on the loose. Logan Paul, I'm uploading dead bodies on video.
On YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yo, this is Neo's Corner. Anything can happen here, whether we're talking about philosophy or we're fucking freestyle rap battling here, or we got cats up in this piece. It don't matter what, anything can happen in this podcast. Fellas, we're going to start winding it down.
Okay.
Before we do, actually want to give you guys the opportunity to do your plugs. So anything you guys want to do, I'll give you guys access to the audio, to the video as well.
Great.
So that you can do what you got to do. So if you guys, whoever wants to start, go for it.
Okay. So we're speaking on behalf of my production company now at this point?
Yeah, just get a little closer to the mic.
Okay, all right. So a week ago I started this production company.
Say it with your chest.
A week ago I started a production company and I started getting artists from around New York City that I've known since high school, all passionate creators.
Mm-hmm.
And I got this project I've been working on, and I'm utilizing these artists and their connects and also our connections to like interlock each other in a networking system. So right now we are basically, I did my first photo shoot led by me as art director and creative assistant and set production. And I have my photographer on set and I have a creative team. And I'm highlighting these artists and their personalities and photographing it and documenting on video. After this, I would take these footage and video and start sending them to my connections, which I've amassed about in 5 months or so, which are quite big connections. In hopes of basically getting more exposure and putting myself on a larger platform. And that goes for everybody else I'm involved with. I'm trying to bring them with me. As an artist, I noticed that the community in art is suffering because there is no union kind of system with it, and as artists, we all want to be individualists, but there comes a point where you need people together with their individual, people are unique as artists, you know what I mean? And if you find an artist who's unique, you could take that talent and put it to your project and say, hey, I need someone to do this for me, and they could edit their way and add that uniqueness to my project.
What's up, Yulia? How you doing?
So that's what my project is founded on, and I'm starting my second photo shoot on the 23rd, and right now I'm developing an album right now for my soundtrack, which is trying to be developed into a film with this connection I know about, and I'm just hustling, and they're making a soundtrack for me, and I'm gonna see if I could use that and utilize it as my soundtrack for my comic.
Okay, so outside of that, Kevin, where can people find you?
Oh, they will find me on, you shouldn't even call me Kevin, I'm sorry about that. You should have called me my art name. It's Rubixwave.
Okay, Rubixwave.
And the way that is spelled out is Rubikwave. So that's like Rubik with a K, not a C, and wave.
Well, you should have told me that from the beginning of this podcast.
Sorry.
It's all good. Rubik. So again, just let us know exactly where, as far as I guess Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
If you go on Google and you type that name up.
What's up, Sam?
I'm the only person on the internet with that name. I'm the only Rubixwave. Everything related to Rubixwave is just strictly me. You're not gonna find someone that got a name like that. So you'll find my Flickr account. You'll find my photography from college there. You'll find my portfolio, my work that I've done, and my college shit is also there too, and my Instagram. But mainly I'm on Instagram. That's where I function from. I don't function anywhere else but that. I have Snapchat, but I don't go on it, honestly. I just do stupid shit there,
Okay.
But my main function of strict business is my Instagram account.
Yulia says cat.
Oh.
Okay, so your main thing is Instagram then.
Yes.
So your Instagram handles are Rubixwave, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Rubixwave, the same thing, just a word.
Okay, so Rubixwave. So that's RUBIKWAVE. So if you follow him on Rubixwave on Instagram. That's primarily where he's gonna do most of his stuff. You guys can check him out there. Widditsama, I want to give you the opportunity to do your plugs as well if you want.
Was that you from the job?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Okay, plugs. My cat. Shout outs to Rachel. So I mean, as he said, he manages a collective of artists, and we'll throw in the links so you guys can follow them if you've ever, if you're feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, if you guys don't know, Widditsama on Twitch.tv and on Twitter. I mean, really anywhere else. You type in Widditsama, you're gonna see my name. I do speedruns of video games, mainly Mario games. So Super Mario Odyssey, the new one that just came out in October, I do that. Super Mario 64. I'm looking to expand to other things. I tell terrible jokes on Twitch. I try to be funny, and some people are amused. But come follow. And yeah, all the names I said earlier. Hopefully we can provide like links or something like that to give them the shout out. I don't want to name them all because
they're
not
tagging on our photos.
Yeah.
No doubt. I mean, don't worry about it. Regardless of the
Look it
fact, I'm gonna end up. I'm gonna post links on board as well. So if you guys want, just let me know what you guys want me to put on there.
Yeah. Again, Widditsama on Twitch, Widditsama on Twitter, Widditsama on Instagram. I mean, whatever you want to look up. So, yeah, that's my.
Yeah, no doubt. How you call it? I also want to finish this before my phone dies because Facebook.
Yeah, no worries.
Facebook Live is about to die on me as well. I want to take this opportunity to thank Facebook Live and the Twitch community for being on board. Rubixwave, Widditsama, you guys are amazing people. You guys can catch me at twitch.tv/NeoStarling. I occasionally do Resident Evil speedruns. I play horror games. I play a variety of games. I'm actually a variety streamer. Also doing podcasts. I occasionally put up YouTube videos as well. I have a job. I'll fix computers occasionally, but I won't fix yours, so don't ask me to, please. If you like these two guys, please follow them on their social media platforms, which I will be providing in the description below after I finish editing everything. And also, I'm sorry, Kevin. I mean, Rubik. After, if you guys are coming from any other channels and you're feeling what I have to work with, feel free to give me a follow. If you thought I was whacked, then it's all good. It doesn't really make a difference. But your support is greatly appreciated. Rubik looks like he wants to say something else.
One last thing. I run a photo studio. I'm the manager there. If anyone wants to get involved with photography, they may hit me up on Instagram, and I can get them some kind of shoot, like a budget for you guys. We're trying to get exposure. I also work at an art studio on 38th Street. So if you want an art project to be approached, you let me know too, okay? And that's about it. That's all I need to say. Thank you.
And if you caught in late, if you want, I don't know how long this has been running, maybe like 2-3 hours.
Almost 3 hours.
But yeah, watch it back. Maybe if you're trying to go to sleep, want some background noise to sleep too, watch it back. Or even like the past minutes, past 30 minutes to an hour. It's been pretty fun. So a lot of interesting talk. Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
All right, so you can catch Rachel.
Follow me.
You can catch Rachel on her Instagram channel as well. I'll post that in the link as well. But anyway, thank you guys so much for coming on board. I appreciate having you guys as guests, Kevin, Rubik, whatever. I appreciate seeing you guys. It was great seeing you, man. Seriously, I can't stress how good it felt just to like have a conversation with you. It's been a long time.
I know.
And by the way, Vengeful Nature said, "Yo, with it, when the stream is done, I'm taking your cat. You have to pay for insulting me."
Okay. Yo, dude, I will annihilate you. Like,
yeah,
there will be nothing left.
Yeah, he said there will be nothing left. But anyway, let's just call it at that. Thank you everybody that came on board and supported tonight. You guys are all amazing people, and don't ever let anyone tell you different again. Signing off.